Welcome to Fullerton College Football on SportsNetUSA.net. Hey, I'm Mark Pavlovich along with Corey Neyland and Ryan Osborne. We are the voices of Fullerton College Football, and we're down here at DeVore Stadium for step 2, Corey Neyland, in pursuit of the conference championship, which will get Fullerton, whoever wins this conference, into the playoffs at the end of the season. Should be an exciting game. We've been down here a couple times, had a couple good games already, but Corey, this really is a quest for this Hornet football team.
Yeah, this really is a rhythm game for the Hornets. And, you know, we talked to coaches, and they're still thinking that they're missing that one game, the start of the season, that was canceled against or forfeited by Santa Ana. So they're just getting into their rhythm, and this is one of the games where we'll see a lot of Chandler Galvin taking the helm for the Hornets at 4-2 coming into the season, 1-0 in conference. Southwestern at 2-3, 0-1. They lost last week to Golden West, and they're really ready. Speaking of the Jaguars, really ready to show what they can do this season. It's been up and down.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you talk about Fullerton College, there's a young man that's just starting to chase a record. We were talking about it on the way down here. Brandon Rankin's already with 9 touchdowns this season. You said 18's the total, or that's the record. He's got to have a big game today if he wants to stay in that chase to be in the record books for Fullerton College.
Yeah, Ladarius Skelton and Gerald Hewlett with that record of 18 in a season for touchdowns, as Kashawn Griffin and Christopher Kuntz back deep for the Hornets.
Kashawn Griffin, young man that really thinks he should be the star, not in a negative way, Corey, for this Fullerton College team. We'll see if he can start it off early in this game. He'll be standing at the 10 as the Hornets receive the first kickoff, and they're going to cook in Kuntz's direction. He picks it up at the 10, runs a fake reverse, one we haven't seen, at the 20, turns the corner, sidesteps, stays on his feet, then goes out of bounds. Like Corey Neyland, we just talked about that last week, the fake reverse on a kickoff return.
And Keon Marshall misses his block on that return because Christopher Kuntz needed one more block. I'm not saying it was going to the house, but again, it was going a long way.
I was waiting for him to step inside behind it, but he couldn't just slow down to make the cut.
No.
Galban comes out at quarterback for the Hornets. You look at Chandler this year so far, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's got an efficiency rating, though, of 130, which says a lot for him at quarterback for this Hornet team. First down and 10. Right at the 29 for the Hornets. Have a little delay to start this game.
Jaguars start off in a dime package, so 3-2-6.
So we have an official timeout, trying to get a football that they can play with. Jordan Smith out wide to the near side of the field. Brandon Rankin's in the back with Galban. First down and 10 at the 29. We get a flag on the play. We call illegal procedure. With 14:51, the beginning of the game, the Hornets decide to make it a little more difficult to get down the field.
On defense, Andrew Sola, Jariah Jackson, and Jace Fuamatu up front for the Jaguars.
Smith and Mike McCray, they hand it off to Brandon Rankins, goes off a right tackle, gets across the 25, about up to the 28, gain of 2 in the play.
Ulrich Naki at the linebacker position with Jacob Buchanan in the secondary, Jaheim Williams, Andrew Kirk, Donnell Frazier, Michael Harrington, and Arnold Escano for Southwestern.
Byers and Kuntz come to the near side of the field. Galban still at quarterback, Rankin at running back. Galban goes back, gets a block, throws it up to Kashawn. Kashawn catches it right at the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 at the 30.
Hornets up front. Marcelo Saenz, Daniel Medelis, Peyton Sattler gets the start at center. Andrew Sanders the second, the left guard, or left tackle, and Nate Ramirez the left guard.
Big 3rd down and 9. Handed off to Brandon Rankins. Gets a turn, gets stuck right at the 35. A nice defensive play by the Jaguars.
Yes, and I'm sorry, guys. That's not Nate Ramirez. That's William Perrone who gets to start at the left guard. And they're going to call it on Fullerton. Crackback.
We'll see what the call is here. We have a flag down at the 30-yard line. We have holding against the offensive line, so they're going to mark that off. So a little stutter step by the Hornet offense to start off this game. 2 quick penalties, marks them back. It's now going to bring up the penalty is declined. I was surprised that if it was going to get accepted, because it would have brought up a 4th down. They started to walk it up. They're going to call it a 4th down, so it'll be 4th at the 35.
Palacios back deep to punt.
High spiral. Signal for a fair catch right at the 30, and that's where the Jaguars will start. So the Fullerton Hornets stumble a little on their first play out there. Brandon Smith comes in at quarterback for the Jaguars.
Working against Troy McDonald, Nick Samaniego Mott, Bryce Dunnick, and Dimitri Hernandez gets the start up front for the Hornets.
Dorsey to the near side of the field. Smith, big right-handed freshman, comes out. They run it on the first play. Gain of about a half a yard by the Jaguars. Just over the 30. Nice spot that they get.
Backers for the Hornets. Jalen Early, middle linebacker, 33 in white. 42 is Junior Wiley. Far side is Gil Vasquez. Corners are O'Shea Davis on the far side. Jordan Wright, who had an interception last week. Near side with Chandler Brown, 1 safety, and Jonathan Smith, 22, team's leading tackler.
So Canoe Davis and Dorsey out here on the right-hand side again. They're going to run it up the middle one more time. Gain of 3 on the play.
And that's Sean Bryant. Ryan goes 5'9", 175 out of Nash Central in North Carolina.
Corey, it's interesting with him as a running back. He's been averaging minus 10 yards a game for this Jaguar team.
They have not found their ground game yet.
Dorsey comes back out to the near side of the field again. Brandon Smith hasn't thrown the ball in this game. 3rd down and 9, right at the 32. Here comes the pressure. Looks the middle of the field. Has it there, dropped right on the play, and that should have been caught by Canoe Davis as he comes across on a crossing pattern. And Corey, it was just thrown a little behind him on that play.
Yeah, a little behind. Still caught him in the hands. Still could have been caught. It was there. But again, Hornets take over on downs if they punt it away as Kashawn Griffin steps back to receive the punt.
Griffin's going to stand at the 35-yard line, waiting to break one this year. Hasn't done it so far. So both offenses stagger early here in the first quarter. Lots of pressure. Kashawn catches it on the death run, keeps his feet, gets across the 40 to 42, and that was a difficult punt to catch.
And better individual effort by Southwestern as David Hakofa was being blocked by the upback. He fights around the block and gets Griffin around the ankles.
So at 12-12 to go here in the first quarter. It's the Jaguars 0, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Smith comes to the near side of the field. Mike McCray in the slot next to him. Galban still at quarterback. Brandon Rankins at running back. 1st down and 10 at the 43 for the Hornets. Handed off to Brian Rankins. Tries to get something. We're going to get a flag out there again, Corey, and we'll see if it's another holding call against the Hornets.
It's going to be another holding, and that's the second play you've seen, that exact stretch play run. They must have seen something on film to try to exploit that this week. Because if it's not holding, his hands to the face, but they're backing up.
So they're looking over to see who it was on. Holding, so now in basically 6 plays, 3 penalties. The Hornets are running at negative yardage in this first quarter.
Yeah, but I like those stretch plays that started off. There's something there. One block if they can get it without holding, and here comes replacements. Mark on the offensive line. 74 is Kadarius Toole. Or not replacements, extras.
Black now in as the up running back to lead it. They give it to Galban. Black makes a block out there. Brandon Rankins gets to the 35. It's a loss of, boy, and they give him a great spot, Corey. They give him all the way up to the 37. I never thought he got that far, but that's where they're spotting it. It's going to bring up a second down and about 17 for the Hornets. Smith comes to the near side of the field. Standing next to him is going to be Coots. Galbin, empty backfield, 5 wide for the Hornets. Big second down play right at the 37. Galban looking for protection. Has time, stands in the pocket. Middle of the field, blocked away. Good defensive play. Ball, defender at the same time.
They're looking for Toby Sanake. And again, Kashawn Griffin was up 5 yards. But that wouldn't have been enough for a first down. But here we're looking at third down and about 16 yards to go.
Smith, Kuntz, and then you throw in the sure-handed Charles Byers to the near side of the field. Galban, 5 wide again. Big third down. Here comes the pressure. He's going to take off running. Has to turn the corner at the 45. Steps out of bounds at the 49. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 5. And Corey, do you go after it early in this game at midfield?
When we were here 3 years ago, they played field position, and they eked out one. I don't know if you don't want to be aggressive here. Actually, I'd like to see him be aggressive. 3rd down and 4, and they're going to kick it away. See, I like aggressive. They play smart.
No, I'm with you, Corey, on your initial thought. Go for it here. Be aggressive in the first half, especially against the Southwestern team that struggled with the aggressiveness of Golden West last week. You capitalize on that early and make a precedent.
I don't know if is that Kahanu Davis back deep for the Jaguars? It is. Kahanu lets it take a bounce, bounces sideways, goes back, a little back pedal, and it's going to be downed at the 25. That's about a 22-yard punt net. So it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 25. The daringness of Corey Neyland, it would have been an opportunity because on the punt, you really don't get a flip-flop of the field.
And speaking of the battle for keeping it with first place, and we'll give you scores a little later on, but we know of one score that we know was in the 4th quarter that was Golden West over Saddleback, 27-3. So we'll get you some finals and some action a little bit later in this first quarter.
Jaquan Dorsey to the near side of the field. At quarterback still is Brandon Smith, the freshman. Run it straight up the middle one more time. No gain. So that front 4 for Brian Cooks are being stalwart defensively, to say the least.
Junior Wiley was in there initially.
No gain with 10:17 to go here in the first quarter at DeVore Stadium.
And Mark, watch for Nick Hurtado, number 27 for the Hornets. He's switching to the near side.
Jourdain goes to the far side of the field. Dorsey to the near side of the field. Jourdain throws a block out there and a really nice initial first block, and they get a 1st down on the play.
It was a good block and aided by Jordan Wright coming on the inside instead of taking the outside contain, because Junior Wiley was coming on the inside. Box him in, not a 1st down. But again, he takes the inside route along with the good block, creates that 1st down.
1st down and 10 for the Jaguars, right at the 36. So they're moving the chains. Nice throw by that freshman quarterback, Brandon Smith, for the Jaguars. Going back again, one-on-one down the middle of the field, incomplete, and they're throwing a flag on what looked like tight coverage, to say the least.
Jordan Wright runs with them and runs them out of bounds, which is legal, which is what you want to do as a defensive back. But again, they say he's a little bit too frisky.
So they called a defensive holding against him, Corey, so he must have maybe grabbed the arm. We don't have the sight because it was the far side of the field. That's all it could be, right?
Okay. If you say so.
All right, so that moves another 10 yards.
Mark on the interior, Jason Wallace checks into the ball game for the Hornets. That's 57. Number 98 is Sean Morris, also into the ball game.
Southwestern on the move. First down and 10, right at the 46-yard line. Brandon Smith feeling more comfortable out there, quarterback for the Jaguars. He's got the team rolling. Across the middle of the field, a gain of 8 on the play. And Corey, he has distributed the ball now to 3 different receivers offensively.
And that one was Rashad Griffin. Tight ends, 4th reception on the season.
So it's 2nd down and 4 across the midfield. Busted play, takes it himself, gets across the 45 to the 44. It should be enough for a first down for the Jags.
And Ryan, the Jags are looking efficient in their first couple possessions here, much more efficient than they did last week against Golden West.
Very different team. They started Inman in that game against Golden West, weren't able to move the ball up the field in the first quarter and through the first 4 minutes of the second quarter as well. This is different. They got their second first down in the third quarter last week.
Wow.
Sean Bryant goes in the slot on the far side of the field. Dorsey stays here on the near side of the field. And we're going to get timeout with 8:18 to go. So with 8:18 to go, there's no score up on the board here yet in the first quarter at DeVore Stadium. And of course, we never want to hear that at your house when you get up in the morning and you got to get to class and realize, I'm running late. Well, you run outside, you hop in that new Toyota that you just got from Miller Toyota of Anaheim, and you make it to that first class at Fullerton College Known Time Flat. That's right. Looking for that newer used Toyota? There's no better place to go than Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That's right. A student, a veteran, look for the deals that you get at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. So if you're looking for that newer used car, Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located at Euclid in the 91. Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports and education. First down and 10. Once again, Bryant in the slot, far side of the field. Dorsey, near side of the field. Brandon Smith, the quarterback, runs it straight up the middle. Gain of 2 on the play.
Brought down by Nick Hurtado was Bryant, and working behind an offensive line of Christian De La Cruz, Eric Brindle, Daniel Placencia, Michael Perry, and big number 72.
And he's big. Sean Bryant in at running back, standing right there next to Brandon Smith. Dorsey to the near side of the field. 2nd down and 8. Now they flip-flop. Put Bryant to the far side of the field. They fake it to Bryant. Quarterback keeps it himself. Brandon Smith comes around the corner. Ryan, did you see Brandon Smith play at all last week?
We saw him very briefly on one series. He couldn't get a first down, and we didn't see him again in the third.
Ryan was here last week for the Golden West College game against these Jaguars who are on the move. They're inside the 40. It'll be 3rd down and a long 6 for them.
Mark Brandon Smith came in 23 of 46 for 291 yards thus far on the season.
Averages 62 yards a game, so he's done something. Here comes the pressure. Brandon Smith's got no place to go. He gets out of the pressure. Down the field, all alone, almost intercepted, and he underthrows a receiver that was wide open down the field.
I'm not going to say he was wide open, Mark. He maybe had a step on O'Shea Davis, not quite sure. But again, he just a testament to getting out and elusiveness because Fullerton brought the blitz and it was one-on-one coverage, no safety help deep. That pressure created him to roll out and couldn't hit the first receiver on the far side. I think it was, who was that? Jourdain on the post.
So they come out in an offensive formation, which leaves the Hornets in a defensive formation. So they won't be back to get a punt. They run off half the team. Now they've got 3 linemen.
And so, Mark, with the delayed game here, they're going to back it up 5 yards.
Was that the craziest thing you've seen? I mean, they started with the offense, then the backfield runs off, the punter runs on, the offensive line stays there, then they start to leave.
Punting was actually a really nice area for them last week, Mark and Corey. They consistently pinned Golden West inside their own 15. If I remember right, they punted 9 different times, and 8 of them were inside the 15.
Okay, now, Corey, there was no.
No, they're going to say Southwestern called a timeout before the delay of game.
Yeah.
Fullerton should be careful about a fake here.
Kashan catches it on the dead run at the 30, stays on his feet, gets crossed, and that should be a flag. And it is a flag. He was 4 yards out of bounds when he got hit. And I'd throw another flag now, too, for the simple reason you've got to let him get out of the pile.
And a nice job by Kashan catching it on the dead run. He was looking end zone. And, yeah, that's an easy call to play. That's going to give him an extra 15 yards.
Yeah, he was on. There's a white strip where it marks off where the team is supposed to stay. He was on the white strip when he was leveled. And there shouldn't even be a discussion going down on the field. That should be marked off. There should be the thing, if they even call an unsportsmanlike conduct, because there's a flag on the far side of the field.
Well, we'll see if that was offside or not, or holding.
So we're waiting to see. We've got 2 flags. We've got a flag on the near side of the field, the flag on the far side of the field. The officials are trying to work out what all the penalties are about.
So if the one on the far side of the field, that's usually holding on the return team.
Illegal procedure against the kicking team.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to mark off. Both penalties were against the Jaguars on the team. So an illegal formation was the first flag. The second flag was the hit out of bounds on Kashan, and that moves the ball all the way down to the 38-yard line.
And Trey Edwards steps in at quarterback for the Hornets.
Brandon Rankin stays in at running back.
On the right side, Dylan Nichols is the right tackle now. And the right guard is going to be Craig Michael Rush.
So first down and 10 at the 38 for the Hornets with 6:37 to go here in the first quarter. Trey Edwards keeps it himself, tries to go up the middle, and is taken down for a loss on the play.
And that's Fuamatu. Read the play perfectly as Nate Ramirez, now the new center. He was out in front, but Fuamatu came through and slipped behind.
Smith to the far right side of the field. DeJounte Edwards in the near side of the field. Trey Edwards at quarterback. He rolls out, looking, throws it across the 40. Nice little catch and catch. Held on to, cross the 30. Get a little pushing down there. The officials are going to break it up. And Corey, that was a nice rollout and throw on the dead run to Thomas that just came out of the slot on the far side of the field.
And it's a nice positive pickup, Mark. Thomas, not many catches this season. That's only his 4th catch.
So a flag was thrown. A flag was thrown. So it's holding defensively against the Jags. They mark it off. It should be automatic first down at the 30. So the Hornets will take it from there.
One thing to note, on the far side of the field, they didn't change the down marker once Fullerton got possession. So it showed third down, and Fullerton on the far side of the field, little miscommunication because they all thought it was third as well.
Trey Edwards this time doesn't hesitate, goes straight up the middle, gets across the 20. Corey Neyland, I'm going to throw it at you because you said Trey every once in a while gets a little hesitant, but on that time, as soon as the hole opened, he took off running.
Designed run. You know those 2 stretch plays they ran to the right side early? That was designed for that particular play to get that first down.
First down and 10 at the 20. Trey still under. Hands it off to Brandon Rankins. Goes up the middle. And Corey Neyland keeps telling me, one day Brandon Rankin's going to hit the hole. There's going to be no linebacker there, and we're never going to see him again.
Oh, yeah, he'll get you 5 yards a carry, which he has been this season.
Second down and 4 for the Hornets. They hand it off to Brandon Rankin. Shreds. No, it's Trey Edwards. And what a fake, because it faked me out, Corey. I had Brandon, so I'm going to throw it back to you because I got faked out completely on that play.
Again, the runs have been setting up those last 2 runs by Trey Edwards for that, because the stretch play, 2 stretch plays early in the first series and the second series. Sorry about that, Ryan. Those first stretch plays created that run up the middle. That positive 5-yard gain by Brandon Rankins creates a, put it in the belly, pull it out, and creates that 20-yard touchdown run.
And Ryan, this is something we haven't seen at practice. You're out there every week for the coaches show. Trey Edwards finally just utilized what we see on the practice field all the time.
Yeah, and Mark, that's one thing that we've seen from him in practice is the fact that it's all about the decisiveness. We talked to Coach Gary Campbell actually, this week on the coaches show, and he said that's one thing that he wants to see about, or from his team this week specifically, is how well they are able to execute on decisiveness. Make a decision at the line of scrimmage. Make a decision before the line of scrimmage. Anticipate something, and then once you make your decision, go with it, full sell with it. So that way it doesn't allow for a defense, like you see with Trey Edwards, it doesn't allow for a defense to say, okay, we can capitalize on the indecision. We can get into the backfield against Trey. We can get into the backfield against this offense. The more decisive they will be, that's what Gary Campbell likes to see, and that's what gives them points.
So the Hornets get on the board with 5:06 to go here in the first quarter on a wonderful play by Trey Edwards at quarterback. Little off the side of the foot bounce. Picked up at the 20. Hit, and there's a tackle made right at the 30-yard line. And I tell you what, Jacob Vasquez came over out of nowhere and put a shoulder into the returner.
And Mark, that's the thing. You look at how that tackle takes place. He shucks off his initial blocker but keeps his momentum and his feet moving. What you'll often see on those types of coverages is the guy will go up, he'll end up standing up straight, back goes straight, you lose all your momentum, and the guy's running downhill at you. Instead, he keeps his base low, moves those feet, and it allows him to get into that energy.
Brandon Smith now shifts out of the quarterback. Brandon Smith, they go back, run a little delayed screen off to the right-hand side, gain of 9 on the play. They have a lot of movement on their team. Ryan, you were here last week, and their receivers are quick coming off the edge.
Yeah, and Mark, that's one of the big things that did get them yardage late in the second half against Golden West is those quick screen plays. Get their receivers into open space, allow them to use their legs to get extra yardage after the catch.
So it's a gain of 9 on that. It'll be second down and 1.
Guys, you weren't down on the field just now like I was. That hit by Vasquez was heard up into the crowd.
You could hear it up here, too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dorsey comes in near side of the field. Run it straight up the middle. Loss on the play of 1, and the big defensive lineman swallow up the running back for the Jags. Should be third down. Boy, the down marker person is having a real tough time across the field. They made it 4th, they made it 3rd, they made it 2nd, and if you're a coach, you're trying to go, what is it we are right now?
Soyeto.
Brandon Smith brings his team back out. Sean Bryant in the backfield with him. Straight dive play up the middle. Blocked off there, rolls over, short of a first down. It's not where he set the football. We're going to move it back. We'll see where they've got it marked. They've got it marked at the 39. It now brings a 4th down and 1. And the Jags, the offensive line sort of looks and goes, wait a minute, we made that first down. And no, he stuck it out there. He was down before that. Good spot by the officials with 3:15 to go here in the first quarter.
And next time they're in a 4th down situation in Fullerton territory, they're going to go for it with a bootleg.
Deshaun Griffin back deep, stands at the 26-yard line. Here it comes, all-out rush. Off the side of the foot, Keshawn watches it roll out of bounds, and we'll see where they'll spot it on the far side of the field. Walking up just across the 35. They're going to mark it down at the 37 with 2:51 to go here in the first quarter. It's the Hornets 7, the Jaguars 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, Ryan, myself took a nice early cruise with Gabby Neyland. She wanted to go for a little drive this weekend. We put her in the car, and hey, we all ended up here and calling a football game on SportsNetUSA.net.
Who knew we had football broadcasting equipment in the car? Just so happens we lucked out.
That's right. Galban in at quarterback. First down and 10. Galban keeps it himself. Goes straight up the middle. No hesitation on the Galban. Quarterback keeper. They're going to mark him up to probably to about the 43 as tugging still goes down. The official says, no, young man was down. They're going to mark him down at the 43 and a quarterback keeper.
Josh Williams was there. Comes in for the first time. The Jaguars rotate a lot of defensive players.
Jordan Tate now in as a receiver. They hand it straight up the middle. Ryan Black has it. Black gets across, almost to the yard markers. We'll see where he marks him, Corey. If it's the far side of the field, they're going to say on the near side of the field, it's a first down. So Black comes in and does what he has done best. When you look at Ryan Black this season, he's had an excellent season as a running back. 139 yards in 19 rushes. Black's in the backfield with Galban. First down and 10 at the 48. Galban throws it quickly, taken out of the air one more time on a nice pitch and catch to Thomas. And Thomas right now has been the man with the hands for the Hornet receivers.
That's his second, and a nice job, because if he doesn't put up his hands and make that catch, that's a pass that could have been intercepted.
Huffman to the near side of the field. They go back to the other thing. Smith gets it there. Smith gets a gain of 1 at the 45. So they brought Smith back around. Thomas was trying to throw a block, couldn't do it. Gain of 1. Third down and 4 at the 45. They're across midfield with 1:17 to go in this first quarter.
And Kashawn in the slot. Braden Huffman in the slot on the near side. Kashawn in the slot on the far side. Look for those two. Pick up this first down.
Coots standing next to Huffman. Smith on the near side of the field towards us now. Third down and 4. Empty backfield. Galban throws it. Tries to go to Kashawn. It's incomplete. Very good coverage against Griffin.
Yeah, great coverage against Kashawn. On that coverage is 04, not 04, but 4D, Michael Harrington.
Smith comes the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Christopher Kuntz. Now they go to the far side of the field. Thomas comes the near side of the field. Standing next to him inside the slot is McCray. Fourth down and 3 at the 45. Galban looks things over. Runs a little delay with Black, and Black is tackled at the ankles behind the line of scrimmage. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Nice tackle.
Jacob Buchanan shot in from the left side, and there was no way that run play was going to work. Fullerton, you thought they were going to do another put it in the belly and pull, have Galvin run for the first time, but they just had too much penetration by one guy, and Buchanan, the starter, gives the Jaguars a first down at their own 45-yard line.
So the Hornets get stuffed with 49 seconds to go, holding on to a very slim 7-point lead at this stage of the game. Brandon Smith brings him out. He's looked good at quarterback. this night against this Hornet defense. They run a little pass play. Coming there, we're going to get holding, a flag, and it should be holding against the Jags on where that flag is thrown.
Yeah, you're going to call holding. That should be a shift, or because the illegal procedure would have called the play.
They're asking the Hornets. Well, it's not a shift because the play will stand. So I'm going to say it was holding. I'm going to say it was holding. Let's see who's right here. Oh, the old guy's right. Corey Neyland bets on 00 and comes up with it right with an illegal shift. So they move it back. It's first down and 15 now at the 40.
And I think that was Escano.
Clock.
No, excuse me, Davis, who was trying to get set at the line of scrimmage on this near side, moving up when the ball was snapped.
We're down to the last 30 seconds of this first quarter. The Hornets are up by 7. Dorsey comes to the near side of the field. Brandon Smith at quarterback. Sean Bryant over in the corner. They throw it out in the flat. Back to the original line of scrimmage, so they pick up 5 yards on that one.
Brogdon and Wiley in on the stop on Davis.
And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Hornets 7, the Jaguars nothing. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. .net. I almost said .nothing, didn't I? .net. You know, when you look at the score right now and you see the Jags are sitting there at 0, worst thing you can have do is your car be sitting at 0 on the gas tank. That's right. You're driving those big old SUVs, those large pickup trucks. Man, what do you want to do? You want to get that economy car. Where do you get that economy car at? Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That's right. They've got the newest, the best, and the finest cars in all of Orange County or Southern California. So next time you're out cruising around, you got nothing to do, stop at Euclid in the 91. Take a look at some of those new Toyotas that are out there right now. Maybe there's a used car for your liking for that student that's going to Fullerton College and needs that car to get them there every day. Whatever you might need, whatever vehicle you really fall in love with, you'll find it at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
And the scoreboard around the CCCAA, 50-42, Glendale beat Orange Coast. Citrus lost big to Santa Ana, 49-13. Shasta over Siskiyous, 31-6.
Jags come out. Second down and 10. Bryant, running back. We get motion in the backfield. And they're going to call that against the Jags. Everybody started leading backwards. Bryant started leading backwards. Then the quarterback said, wait, I'm missing something. Brandon Smith went with him, and so they get a flag. That's going to move him back 5 yards. Second down and 15.
They said Fullerton Mark had a close talker, so they all backed up. Problem is, in football, that's a penalty.
Can't run away from it. Bryant stays in the backfield. Smith at quarterback. Second down and 15 at the 40 for Southwestern. They run an option play. Give it to Bryant. Bryant gets tripped up, Corey, by a defense that doesn't get juked on a play.
If you want a textbook how to defend an option, Troy McDonald and Bryce Dunnick said that's how you do it. Is McDonald gets his 5th tackle for loss on the season. Is that right? No, that's number 4. No, actually, that's number 7. My bad. I can't read. And Mark, Golden West did beat Saddleback. 34-3 is your final.
Wow. Jourdain comes out to the near side of the field. Bryant still in at running back. Brandon Smith, shotgun formation. Third down at about 22. Smith looks the middle side of the field, picked off at the 50.
Zach Brogdon with the pick.
Did we not get somebody at this table that predicted at least one interception, Ryan Osborne?
I think he did.
I did indeed. And that's the thing that we saw against Golden West is that the Southwestern offense was very susceptible to giving up the football in the air. They had 2 interceptions last week, and both of them were on very similar plays to what you saw there. They had a guy going up the middle. He gets bumped off the route. The linebacker slides in and gets a pick. Last week, it was it was it was Kyleel Neal, This week, Fullerton College does exactly the same.
Zach Brogdon drops deep in his drop as a linebacker to get that interception. First down and 10 at the 49 for the Hornets. Big turnover. Galban fakes it to Brandon Rankins, turns to the corner, gain of 3 on the play. It's going to bring a second down and 7. We just started the second quarter. It's the Hornets 7, the Jaguars 0. Second down and 7. Across the midfield, right at the 46-yard line. Galban looks over. Brandon Rankins goes from left to right. Galban gets adequate protection. Looks down the middle of the field. Incomplete pass trying to go to Griffin again. Corey, they've gone twice to him deep. Good coverage against him both times when he's gone deep.
Yeah, Harrington. Again, with excellent coverage on that far side.
So it's going to bring up a third down. And a skinny 8. Hornets come up the line of scrimmage. Big third down after the turnover. Griffin goes in motion. They bring pressure. Galban staggers away, sidesteps, throws it, and throws it out of bounds. And it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now you got to play that field position with Bobby Palacios.
And the Hornets said, well, you know what, Corey Neyland, the defense got us a turnover. We're going to have it. Smith comes to the near side of the field. Thomas is going to be in the slot next to him with Mike McCray. Those are the 3 to the near side of the field.
Mark, I like it. I like it a lot.
4th down and a long 8. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Galban gets that and no place on a corner blitz that was never picked up.
You know, you like the aggressiveness, just the execution, Mark. The execution just wasn't there. You had routes going deep on a 3rd down and 7 yards to go. There was nothing at the first down marker, and that corner blitz, when they're not picked up, bad things happen for your offense. Good things happen for the defense.
And so Southwestern flips the field easily across the 50 all the way down on the 47 on a great corner blitz that was timed perfectly. Bryan in the backfield. They throw it. That's a backward pass. Could have been a lateral. Bounces off 1. And he turns the corner. Taken down, and he bounces off 1. Bryan bounces off 2. Turns back because he can't get tackled. It's taken down for a loss on the play.
Actually, Mark, that was Jalen Poston who played the pinball wizard, and he was brought down by Nick Hurtado. I thought it was Bryan too, but it was Jalen Poston.
Okay. Loss of 9 on the play. Bryant's in the backfield. Goes out in the flat. They go to, this time, back in this direction. Taken there by Jourdain. Jourdain gets up to the 50.
And that's the second tipped pass to the right side by Marcus Thompson, who's just into the ball game.
So it's a 3rd down and 13. Jourdain here on the near side of the field. Leading receiver for this team, averages 71 yards a game. Davis in the slot next to him. Bryan in the backfield. Throw it over this side of the field. Davis shoved out of bounds. Across midfield at the 45. It brings up a 4th down and 8 for the Jags. And so it looks like the Jags again are going to play field position and punt the ball away. So the Hornets so far in this game, Ryan Osborne, we thought they might take control of this game, have not been able to establish any sort of offense.
No, but this is an excellent opportunity here for this special teams unit to end up giving them that type of control. You look at a guy like Kashawn who's standing back there and waiting for this kick coming up in just a moment. He gets them good field position. All of a sudden, it gives you momentum.
Delay a game should be if there wasn't a timeout. Timeout was called because they had problems getting their punting team on the field. With 10:59 to go, it's the Hornets 7, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, do you know what San Diego Mesa has done in their game so far tonight?
There. So that's a no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here it comes. Rush from the outside. Kick away. Gashawn goes over, looks at it, takes a bounce, hits at the 26, and kicks out of bounds. We'll see if they're going to mark it at the 26, at the 25. So with 10:51 to go, the offense comes back out there again. And Ryan, I'm going to go back to you because we were talking about it just before that. No identity on this field yet.
No, not yet for Fullerton, and that's something that we've kind of seen over the last couple of weeks for Fullerton, with the exception of that San Bernardino Valley game. You look at this offense and you say, okay, where's the identity going to be? Is it a passing team? Is it a running team? What is going to be the decision for the Hornets? And right now, that decision is Matt Blackney.
Matt Blackney now in at quarterback for the Hornets. Brandon Rankins, the running back. Blackney gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, and Brandon Rankins, Corey, gets taken down on the play, and I don't know if he's hurt or not because he's coming off the field.
Yeah, and you hate those low tackles at the ankles, at the shins and below, because that's something that can really hurt a player. And again, that goes back to, I know it's being taught now to go low, but still, learn to tackle.
Devin Moore now in at running back for the Hornets. Blackney at quarterback. A loss of a half a yard. 2nd down and 10. Devin Moore straight up the middle, drops his head, gets taken down across the 30, all the way down to the 32. It's going to bring up a third and makeable.
And we talk to guys, we talk to Devin Moore all the time. He's itching. He's just waiting for his opportunities.
Blackney almost gets him to jump. 3rd down and 4. Blackney normally goes under center. They don't have him there now. It's got 19 on the play clock. Takes the time. They get flags all over the place. And another penalty against the Hornets. 4 so far in this game. All have hurt offensive drives.
And Mark, you asked about that. San Diego Mesa, they're down 7-0 to San Bernardino Valley. First quarter with 8 minutes to play.
3rd down and 9 for the Hornets with 9:34 to go. They come off the corner again. Matt Blackney throws it out there, taken by Thomas. Thomas turns the corner, and Corey Neyland, they run the corner blitz again. The far side tackle picks it up, and that's what allows Matt Blackney to throw the ball.
But they also had a receiver on the up route as a safety.
Devin Moore goes straight up the middle. I really do, but I like the fact that somebody knew, hey, if you see him coming, you as that tackle, you hit your guy, then leave him, and then take up the guy coming from the outside.
My phone updated, 10:31 in the second, San Bernardino Valley 21, San Diego Mesa 6.
They hand it off around the corner. It's going to be enough for a 1st down as he turns the corner again. And so you look at Devin Moore. Corey, you were talking about the fact he wanted to get out there and run. Devin Moore, the sophomore running back, had carried the ball twice for 4 yards. Flag on the field coming into this game.
A lot of flags in this first half of play.
And it's going to be against. Dead ball foul against the Jags. 15 yards, so we tack on another penalty. And they've had some big penalties in this game. We'll see if the Hornets now down almost to the 30, can take advantage of it.
Love this formation.
Brandon Rankins is in. Black is in. And then you end up looking at Devin Moore is in. So they put Black and Moore even with Matt Blackney. And then they have Brandon Rankins behind him. And they run an option pitch play. And Corey Neyland will say that is a forward pass, but he actually pitches it with both hands.
That's a pass, actually, because that was behind the line of scrimmage, and that was in front of him.
Right.
What we saw last week, it was at the line of scrimmage, but behind him, that's a pitch. This one was actually a pass.
So that's going to be a completion. Gain of 7 on the play. Same formation. They come out. Matt Blackney runs the same thing. Stops, turns, makes a cut. First down, nice cut by Blackney. He stops on a dime and makes the curve. He looked like Corey Neyland going back for another taste of banana pudding at that line when he's where were you last week?
I don't know, but it's always a first down with banana pudding. The freshman out of Loera, the Saxon picks it up. Nice job by the Hornets.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Blackney comes out. Still in the backfield is Moore, who's been so far. Blackney has time to throw. Flings it for the corner. Incomplete pass. So a lot of bumping going down the field on that side. A lot of hand shoving.
Looking for Giovanni Macic. Or
Masick.
Masick?
Yeah.
Masick. I'm going to call him by the European and Macic. No, I'm kidding.
It's Masick.
I know.
Even the European name.
I know. I'm going to call him Macic. Just sounds better. Close to the Matrix. So when he makes those acrobatic catches.
Blackney says, you call him what you want. I'm going to hand it off straight up the middle. And there was no movement by the offensive time. It's going to bring up a third down and 10.
Mark, actually there was movement by the offensive line. The problem was it was the defense who was moving them back into the backfield to make that stop. And I believe, yes, that was Rashad Griffin. No, excuse me, Nicholas Reinhardt.
Kuntz comes out to the right-hand side. Huffman in the slot with him. Green now in the backfield. So Green and Rankins, the running back. Matt Blackney, the quarterback. Third down and 10, right at the 18. They look. Blackney throwing for the corner. Incomplete pass.
Your field goal kicker, Cesar Velasquez, is 3 of 7 on the season. His long
36.
36 yards. Yes, it is. So now 4th down and 10.
I go for it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go back to what Corey Neyland has talked constantly. Has always said, hey, run that little 5-yard in and give the receiver an opportunity to pick you up those other 5 yards after he catches the football.
DeJounte Thomas has 4 receptions in this first half.
He's in the slot to the near side. Huffman by himself to the far side. We're going to get timeout with 6:48 to go here in the first half. It's the Hornets 7, the Jags 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborne, Corey Neyland. Guys, and Corey, I'm going to let this be between you and Ryan. I'll get out of the way for a second. Guys, I'm still confused. I just don't understand that you could put up 49 points and then look like you do tonight.
Easy. Southwestern is playing a little bit of inspired football. I mean, this is the best they've played this season from what we've seen on film.
Yeah, and just based on what I saw last week while I was here with Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net, completely different team than what we saw last week. This week, Southwestern getting yardage. Their defense, great coverage as well. Last week in the second quarter alone, they had 4 defensive breakdowns that led to passes of over 35 yards. 4 separate times. They haven't had that in this game so far. They've been tight on the Fullerton receivers all game.
So we'll see if that continues in this game. The Hornets change their minds and decide to go for a field goal. The ball will be spotted on the 24. You add 10. That is a 34-yard attempt. 2 yards shorter than his longest successful kick this year. Ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 6:44 to go, the Hornets 10, the Jaguars 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Plenty of leg. You heard the boot from the big right foot, and they've got that 10-0 lead. And you want to go back to the scores. around the CCC, AA, maybe. As we said, Golden West beat Saddleback 34-3. Antelope Valley over Santa Monica 36-31. Gavilan gets their first win of the season, mark over San Jose 28-16. Butte 35-13 victors over Sierra. San Francisco Cruz 63-0 over SJD, as well as Fresno City 35-0 over Sac City. American River 38, Santa Rosa 22.
So the Hornets up 10-0 with 6:44 to go in this first half. Big boot all the way back to the 6. Gets up to the 20, and then is gang tackled right there at the 20-yard line. Pushed back to the 15, but it'll be first down and 10 at the 20. Ryan, you know, it's a little interesting that field goal is made. You on the coach's show interviewed
Austin McGee.
I was going to say, field goal kicker from the past for this Hornet football team.
We talked to Austin, and I asked him specifically about the field goals because this year he's volunteering and helping out with the special teams altogether, punting, field goals, kickoffs as well. Asked him, what do they have to do this week so that way they can get themselves back on track? He said the number one thing is that it's a mental aspect. Once you get those mental blocks after a couple of missed kicks in a row like you had at El Camino, it's tough to be able to get yourself back in the groove. You have to be able to clean that slate and get your technique back down and get yourself on a roll again.
Smith comes out. No coverage. Takes off running. Slides right across the 25. They're going to mark him down at the 25-yard line. Nice little pickup of 5 on that.
And Fullerton was playing man-to-man, so the defenders turns their back, and nobody was open, and a nice job by Smith to pick up a positive gain of 5.
Second down and 5.
Mark Jordan Rice, number 91, now into the ball game for the first time for the Hornets. He went to Fullerton High School.
Jourdain comes to the near side of the field. Canoe Davis inside him in the slot on the near side of the field. Brandon Smith, once again, big young runner, can't get taken down. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe gets a scissory half a yard.
Quarterback hurry from Troy McDonald from the right side.
Brings up a third down and 4. It's time for the Bulldogs down in the trenches to get ready to see what they can do in this play. Well, it's time for timeout on the field with 5:17 to go. It's time. I guess somebody just said put out the water, put out the food. The Bulldogs are hungry. They'll be back out there in just a second.
They want to hear more scores.
Okay.
So around the Triple C 2A, 52-7. San Mateo stays undefeated over Laney. Los Medanos 28-24 over De Anza. Up north, let's get down south. Well, Merced, 2 3-run home runs over 2 ground rule doubles of Monterey Peninsula, 6-4. Modesto 35, Reedley 20. Coming down south, Grossmont having a resurgence in the American Division, 28-7 over Victor Valley. That's a final. Allen Hancock loses by 20 to Canyon, so Canyon stays undefeated. LA Valley, tough season, guys, for LA Valley. They're losing to Santa Barbara 17-7. I think they're down to their 4th or 5th string quarterback, who was I think he was the starting linebacker at the beginning of the season.
Third down and 5. The Southwestern comes out of the timeout. Hornets come at the middle, throw it out of bounds as both receivers, and now we're getting a late flag, and it's going to be a penalty against the Hornets because he rode the receiver out of bounds, and they're calling it holding against the defensive back. I'm going to you, Corey Neyland. I don't see why there was a flag there.
Neither do I, because O'Shea Davis, he outstanding coverage on the outside. As you see the holding call on Davis. But again, that's just outstanding coverage. And if you think, but hey, let's see if Fullerton can hold him down here But a nice job by Southwestern and not holding on to the ball, trying to get something going positive down the field.
And I like that they're standing there clapping on the sideline. The defensive backs are clapping back at the Jags. I guess they're saying, hey, we're up 10-0 with 5:12 to go in the first half. You can be excited, but you're trailing right now. Dorsey, the far side of the field. Jordan, the near side of the field. And all of a sudden, just swallowed up in the backfield. I guess the defensive line said, let us make a statement, Corey. That's a big statement to make on a huge sack on the play.
Jason Wallace said, who has banana pudding? My goodness. I mean, he ate the quarterback. Oh, quick off the line of scrimmage. Jason Wallace, 6'4", 320 freshman out of Sugar Hill, Georgia. And again, the Fullerton secondary, Mark, Ryan, they owe Phil Austin a birthday gift.
Phil a little older. Corey Neyland was telling us early today. Dorsey goes out wide to the right. Davis comes out wide to the left. They go over in Dorsey's direction. Tries to sidestep, stays on his feet, goes down, gets to the 30, gets a gain of about 3 back on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15 for Southwestern with 4 minutes to go here in the first half, and the Hornets up by 10.
Wallace is there. Williams cleans it up. Actually, that was Sean Morris who cleans it up. Big number 98.
Brandon Smith trying to find something. Ryan said he came in for a couple plays last week. This week, well, he's been the starter for the Southwestern team.
Mark, he hasn't looked bad.
No, he hasn't. And his size really has given him the ability to shake off tackles. Here they come. He fills it up. He's got to take off running. Goes to the outside. Trying to get away. Taken down again for a loss on the play.
Jordan Rice coming from the left side, never giving up on the play as Troy McDonald flushed him out, and he's coming up limping. As you see him on the screen, number 53.
And the Hornets called timeout with 3:25 to go. And one of the reasons they called timeout, Corey, is because of the player you talked about going down.
Yeah, he's 6'3", a sophomore out of Sonora High School, having an outstanding season. He's 4th on the team in tackles with 22, 3 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hurries, and probably a little bit more if you're scoring at home. Speaking of scoring.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of scoring, this coming Wednesday night on our sister station, 90.1 KBPK. Guys, a little Fullerton College Cypress volleyball. The women, the 2 sister schools go after each other here on 90.1 KBPK.
So siblings all around. And Cypress undefeated in OEC play. I think they've won 16 straight games. Fullerton lost last Wednesday to OCC. I forgot what they did last night. But Riverside is beating Mount Sac 28-7 as McDonald is able to walk off under his own power. Always a good thing to see. Pasadena shutting out Compton 28-0 with 4:20 to play in the second quarter. Ventura 17-7 over Bakersfield. And you got to think, the winner of that division between College of the Canyons and Ventura, they get in, but the loser, you got to think, is getting that 4th playoff spot no matter when it happens. Palomar 28-0 over Chaffee.
So 3:25 to go. Hornets up by 10. Need to win this one to feel like they're going to have any opportunity in the playoffs. They've got to go the rest of the way. Next week, we're back down in San Diego again. San Diego Mesa game next week here on sports@usa.net. High snap, going towards the end zone. Taking their safety. So the special teams, wait a minute. I got to go to Ryan Osborne one more time. Did you say special teams are going to do something too?
I did. I said that special teams would be big here, and they would have to get Fullerton the momentum and the identity that they need in this game.
You know, you should have saved some of that mojo because your other team is actually losing.
Oh,
you told us they would.
here we go.
I'm just saying,
Mark likes to hurt with the funny.
Yeah, he does. He can kick it when he's down. No, Mark says, okay, I'm going to stomp you when you're down.
Hey, some of
Go
us
off the top turnbuckle when you're down.
Some of us
Mark
wearing
just
orange.
went off the top rope.
Yeah, he did.
Well, you're lucky I didn't have Corey back up the van that we had out there and get you with that too. So, but the Hornets pick up a couple more on a high snap, but Corey Neyland, a very persuading attack by the special team. Ryan, you're still up there. I mean, a lot of times that happens, and there's not that attack on the kicker.
Yeah, Kuntz and Black were running straight down for the punter, and, if he doesn't throw it out of bounds, that's 6 points. And the final score right now at halftime, 14-0 Cerritos over El Camino.
So the Hornets, as now the Jaguars, they have the opportunity to punt it or to tee it up and kick it off. They've decided to tee it up.
You can tee it up or kick it away as a punt.
They kick it towards Kashan. He dribbles it, picks it up at the 30. Looks to go to the outside, tries the one away from everybody, and the initial drop of the ball disrupted everything on him on a return.
Well, and that usually disrupts the kicking team on a return. You drop the ball, they let up just a little bit, and once you regain it, usually see a big gain. But the recovery by the kicking team by Southwestern did an excellent job of pinning them down for a no gain.
First down and 10 at the 34 for the Hornets. They're up 12-0 here with 3:10 to go in the first half. Galban comes back in at quarterback. They put Griffin in the slot to the near side of the field. Corey Neyland saying give him 5 yards and see if he can just break that pass. Galban has everybody air out. Galban takes off running. It's at the 40. Slides at the 45.
Nate Ramirez up slowly.
So they're going to mark him down at the 46-yard line. Cross midfield. And with the clock running, the Hornets are on the move. First down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Griffin stays in the slot here. Brandon Rankin at running back. Hasn't touched it much tonight. He was supposed to take it that way. Galban drops it, picks it up. Gain of 4 on the play.
I think that was a mix-up. I think he wasn't going to take it, and Galban was ready to give it to him, and that's why it dropped. Lucky bounce right back up into his hands.
Second down and 6, right outside the 40. Galban has it low high. Here they come with pressure. They come this time, get him for a sack. Ball comes out and falling on right there.
Savion Williams, a safety blitz, puts the pressure on Galban. And here is the situation, Mark, with 2 minutes left to go in the first half. I think it's 2 downs. Don't be surprised if you see Brandon Rankins run the ball. He picks up 5. It would make a 4th down more manageable.
Rankins, I'm going to say Rankins comes out of the backfield and catches a pass. Galban keeps it himself, gets almost a first down. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 at the 38.
And they don't need to rush with the minute 30 to play.
They try to get the Jaguars to jump offside. They've got 26 seconds on the play clock, getting the play from the sidelines. 4th down and 2, and we're going to get timeout on the field as Southwestern calls timeout with 1:20 to go here in the first half. It's the Hornets 12, the Jaguars 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Good timeout by the Jaguars. They weren't in position. They still have 3 down linemen up front, but the linebackers were confused about what to do. Good timeout to settle yourself because you think they're going to run Rankins. That's what we've seen in situations like this, 3rd down or 4th down and short. We've seen those runs up the middle. We know Garrett Campbell likes to be creative. Let's see if he gets creative with this play call here.
Yeah, and Corey, one thing we haven't seen yet tonight, we saw a lot of this season with Brandon Rankins coming out on a little wheel route. You get him one-on-one on a defensive back, and if the back's going to take him straight up, he's going to run right over the person to pick up 8 yards for you.
Yeah, and they've had hard runners running from Rankins, Black, and Devin Moore tonight. I think you get one of those 3 guys on the outside with either a pass or a pitch, and you're going to pick up a first down.
Thomas comes in the slot here on the near side of the field. T.J. Burden now in on the near side of the field. 4th down and 2 with 1:20 to go. Galban takes it himself, gets across the 35. That's enough for a first down.
Yeah, but great recovery by the Jaguars. It was close on that first down. They needed 1.5. They get 2.
So Rankin stays in there, running back. Griffin comes in the slot, near side of the field. Brandon Rankins has a false start. Ryan Osborne, it was like, does it say walk, don't walk, walk? I can't tell. Is it blank and green or red?
Well, here's the thing. They were going to Christopher Kuntz on another seam route. We've seen him run that seam a few times this season, and whenever he runs it, he seems to pick up first downs or in one instance, a touchdown.
Kuntz on the far side of the field. Charles Byers, who hasn't seen a pass in a while, but we are told always he's the one with the best hands. We'll see if they go his direction. First down at 15. Galban throws it over to Byers. Byers catches it, sidesteps, stays on his feet, then gets driven out of bounds at the 30. A young man who's been forgotten in the passing game so far picks up an important 10 yards.
Important, but more important, he stayed in bounds. He's got to get out of bounds quickly and stop the clock.
Hornets with 1 timeout left. Galban going deep down the middle of the field, tripped up. Incidental contact, no flag, 19 seconds left in the half.
And you still have 1 timeout. With 19 seconds, you can still get over the middle. Your field goal kicker has confidence after hitting a 34-yarder earlier in this first half. Get something over the middle and call that timeout, go in with another field goal, give you a 15-0 lead.
So once again, out the far side of the field is Byers. Near side of the field, Kashawn. Now they put Rankins in motion. They go back. They run a little screen play over to Byers. He goes down. Should stop the clock because they've got to move the chains with 12.4 seconds to go. They'll be all the way down at the 15. You get up there quickly. You either spike it when they set it. And look at the offensive line, Corey. They're getting frustrated because they're saying, you started the clock. You can't start the clock. The ball wasn't set. How do you start the clock when the ball is not set?
Easy. They press that little button on the right side. Boom, start the clock. Yeah, there was 12.2 seconds left, and the ball was not set. So 7 seconds runs off the clock. That's 7 crucial seconds where you run, play with Galvin rolling out. If nothing's there, you throw it away. So
now you've got to wonder. And I mean, if I'm really surprised nobody's walked over to him and said, excuse me, the ball wasn't set. That clock needs to be pushed back up. And you could see the offensive line was frustrated, Corey, because they're going, do something with the ball.
So the white hat does not raise the roof, and it's still going to say 5.2 or 5.3, excuse me.
So they're going to spot the ball at the 24. You add 10. He's already made 1 from this yardage tonight with 5.3 to go.
It's 4 for 8 after that made field goal earlier.
Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So with no time left on the clock, we come to the end of the first half. And as we come to the end of the first half, it's the Hornets 15, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborne, and the old guy calling the action here from DeVore Stadium on Sportsnet USA.net. And as we look at things going along, well, we've already had a different sort of first half where we thought it might be different. We talked on the way down in the car, and all of us gave our predictions. Brian Crook's defense is doing what I thought Brian Crook's defense would do. Pitch a shutout in this game, maybe give up 6 points at the most, but I thought the score would be much different. And I've got on the air with me here at halftime the host of the Coaches Show here on SportsNetUSA.net. And we have on the Coaches Show, especially Ryan Osborne, the host of the Coaches Show for many years. We started the show many years ago, and I wish if everybody had the opportunity, you should at least watch it to get the inside of the coaches. Ryan, you look at this season alone, some of the coaches, and I'm gonna take us back to the coaches show. Normally when we do the coaches show, yes, we're very heavy on football. We always have been when we started the coaches show, but you and I have always liked to involve all the coaches so far this season. So I'm going to take you back because we're in conference play, and I'm going to ask you, first of all, what's one of the better interviews you've had so far this year on the Coaches Show, or the most enjoyable interview you've had so far this year on the Coaches Show?
I think the number one interview that pops out in my mind has to be the Greg Aviles interview that we did a couple weeks back, where we ended up going out to men's soccer at Fullerton College, and we talked to him not just about what his team is doing this season. In fact, we said at the beginning of that interview, you know what, Coach, we're going to scrap that. We're going to go in a completely different direction, because you and I talked to him prior to the interview, and we were talking about what he does with his team overall, in their life, in their study work, their families as well, and how they're becoming men while they're a part of his program. So we talked to him about that, and that was one of the things that he mentioned. He mentioned he doesn't run his team like a normal team that you would think of. Oh, you go to practice, you attend study hall, you play a game, you're good. That's it. Those are your activities for the entire week. Instead, he runs it more as a life program for them. He gives them the opportunity to learn how to study if they haven't been at the college level yet. He gives them the opportunity to learn how to become leaders by putting them in positions where men who haven't yet had the opportunity to lead get that chance to do so. They are put in charge of helping other people study. They're put in charge of helping other people improve. So getting to talk to him and seeing the light in his eyes and the enjoyment factor that he has, just talking about his student athletes and how they're able to mentor them going from high school boys going into, those were his words, high school boys going into his program and coming out as full, well-rounded men. That's the interview that sticks out so far.
You know, the one that I sort of enjoyed the most out of all the ones I've watched you do was the one with Perry Webster. I know we've all known Perry since he was 26 years old and took over the program here at Fullerton College. But I don't know, I sort of just felt like Perry has added a little more insight when he talks about his basketball program. I really enjoyed the fact that Perry just sort of looked at us and said, hey, now I'm just going to be Perry Webster. That's what I got from Perry in that interview.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when you talk to Perry is it's a different aspect of his program, his life, and basketball that you're going to talk to him about in each and every interview that you do with him. I remember, and I mentioned this with him during the interview, remember talking to him for the first time on the Coaches Show as a brand new hire over at Fullerton College, and we talked to him and we said, so what kind of program do you want to establish here at Fullerton College? And he said, well, if we're talking strictly basketball, I want to talk and make a brand new program that emphasizes defense. We're going to play defense, and we're going to use our defense and translate it into offense. If we can be top 3 in the entire state every year in and out in terms of takeaways, rebounds, and also making sure that other teams don't have offensive efficiency, that's successful on the basketball level. But overall, what he really stressed he wanted to do is make a program that student athletes felt safe going to and knowing that they'd be able to develop overall. They'd learn how to be at the college level. That includes being a student. That includes being a student athlete. That includes going home to their families and having responsibilities that they take on thereafter. That's what he wanted to establish. Then he switches it over to where he's at now. He looks at his program and he says not only has he been able to establish that, but he's now able to look at other student athletes who are looking to continue their careers in basketball and say, you know what, these are the success stories we've had. This is the type of program you're walking into. Sure, the basketball is nice. Sure, the success is nice. The multiple OEC conference championships, the state championship as well, state finals appearance as well. Yes, that's nice. That success is nice and good to look at. But if you're looking to become a better athlete, a better person, contributing to society, you can come here to Fullerton College and get that opportunity for yourself. That is what he emphasized in this latest interview, and it's interesting because each and every time we talk to him, it's about something else. A couple years back when we talked to him, it was all about how he uses different training methods to keep his team fit. That's what the entire interview was about, all 12 minutes of it. This time, it more emphasized the life aspect of his student athletes. 4 years ago, while we were at I believe it was the women's tournament for Fullerton College, got him on the air, talked to him. At that time, it was just about supporting the other programs across Fullerton College. Each and every time that you talk to Perry Webster, a different theme is involved.
And one of the places we have to return to, Ray Baker did the interview. You didn't do it. But I think we need to return to the Aquatics Center and talk to the coach of the women's water polo team, who's been, national championships twice now?
2 times, 2014 and 2019. 2014 was an undefeated run to the state championship, and if I remember correctly from what I was told, the only fully undefeated run in California history to go all the way to the championship and win that amount of games. Then in 2019, he ended up having a team that felt like it had just an Achilles heel. Riverside, each and every time they played them, it felt like Riverside, for some reason, had their number. They played Riverside in the first 5 games of the season, lost by 2. They played them in the middle part of the season in a tournament up in Santa Barbara, lost by 1. 2 weeks later, they played them in conference, lost by 1. They go into the state playoffs, and who do they face to get themselves to the state championship? Riverside. They beat them by 3. When we got to talk to him after that state championship, he mentioned, you know what? That win wasn't just about, we got Riverside back. Finally, we were able to get on the board with a win. He said it was more about seeing his players grow mentally, because seeing them after each and every loss to Riverside, he felt that each and every time they became a lot more hungry to try and beat that Riverside team, and there was a lot more, not relief, but a lot more joy and overall sense of excitement once they did beat Riverside and got to the championship and won it as well, than he would have felt if they had just run through everyone in the entire playoff and not had to face Riverside. So once we got to talk to him on the coaches show, you mentioned Ray Baker had that opportunity to talk to him. It was once again one of those things where you talk to Gabriel Martinez and you say, hey, coach, what type of team do you have this year? And he'll look at you point blank and say, this is the exact style that we're going to run this year because this is the talent that we have. Or he'll look at you and say, you know what, I expect to win conference and I expect us to have no less than 2 losses or no more than 2 losses. And that's exactly what will happen throughout the entire year. Honesty is the pinnacle of everything that he talks about whenever he not only comes on the coaches show, but also talks to us off the air as well.
And, of course, when we do the coaches show, Ryan Osborne also gets student athletes to come on the air with him, which you've done that for a variety of sports this season. We can talk women's basketball. We can talk women's soccer that you've had them on there, plus a plethora of Fullerton College football players. We are going to get the opportunity. We're going to go back and see Perry and talk to some of his players this coming season here on SportsNetUSA.net and 90.1 KBPK. But I've got to ask you, out of all the players that you've run into so far, some who were wordy and some who were shy, and I don't really know what to say, what's been the most enjoyable sport that you've met that athlete from?
You know what? Let's go back to soccer. I got to talk to Steve Perez, who won a award, not this last year, but in 2020, just before everything stopped, for character. Didn't mention it on the broadcast, or on the interview, but I talked to him about it afterwards, and I said, hey, when you win that award, what does it mean to you? And he looks at me and he says, well, to be honest, it just kind of came with the leadership role that Coach Aviles put me in. So to win the award, I wasn't expecting it, but it happened. On the air, he starts off the interview a little bit more timid, short answers, yes, no answers to our questions. Then one question about leadership. That turns into 35 seconds. Then one more question about how you support your fellow teammates. That's a minute answer. And he starts getting more comfortable, and you see him have the passion that he has for that program as a whole. He got more comfortable with it, and then all of a sudden, you look at how the interview starts off with a little bit more timid type answers versus the very end, where Steve Perez was telling us everything that team goes through in terms of study hall, how they motivate each other, and how they actually use their family members to be able to keep that support going for them, not just in athletics, but what they're doing overall off the field as well.
So I've got to ask you, because I'm a fan of the Coaches Show. I watch it every week. I don't watch it because I've been involved with it. I watch it because I enjoy the interviews. I know Corey Neyland watches it every week because he enjoys the interviews. And those fans that are out there, if you watch the Coaches Show every week on 90.1 KBPK, and I'll have Ryan let you know how you can watch it, it'll give you insight to the athletes, to the programs, to the coaches, actually what it means when we say once a Hornet, always a Hornet. Ryan, I think that's really what the Coaches Show is all about, because it lets you know about the programs, not just because they're athletes, but because what they are as athletes who are students at Fullerton College. So what do we got to look forward to in the upcoming rest of the episodes of this year on the Coaches Show here on 90.1 KBPK?
Well, that's the number one thing. When you want to talk about Perry Webster, not only did we have an interview with him a couple weeks back, we're actually going to be interviewing Perry's entire team. Well, not the entire team, but some of the main players, some of the returners as well, in addition to the coaching staff, and highlighting them this entire week as they prepare to start off their season. I believe it's November 2nd is their first game of the season, and we're going to talk to them this week. The following week, we're going to try and be out at women's water polo once again, and the following week after that, we're going to take a look at track and field.
And of course, maybe along the way, you'll hook up with Marcia and see what's going on with the women's side of basketball at Fullerton College also.
Absolutely, because we actually talked to Marcia a few weeks back, asked her if we can go out and talk to her athletes and also her coaching staff. And when you look at Coach Foster's team, she has continually shown success. She has had a Orange Empire Conference championship, multiple playoff appearances as well. So we want to go out there, not only highlight just Coach Perry Webster's team, but also Marcia Foster's team, because they have a successful program that is looking at a lot of returners coming this year.
So the fans back at home right now are saying, geez, the old guy is talking up this show. Man, I'm not sure I've ever heard about it. They mention it all the time on sportsnetusa.net, but I don't watch it. And I go to Sportsnet, I can't find it. And he keeps telling me to listen to Ryan Osborne, and I don't really know where Ryan Osborne's at. So I'm telling the fans right now because they should. Ryan Osborne, they want to watch this show. They want to see if it's as good as the old guys claiming it is, and because they enjoy you on the air with us every time you're on the air. So let them know. How can they find the Coaches Show? Just not the current one, but all the Coaches Shows we've talked about so far today at halftime here on sportsnetusa.net.
So the best way to find it is you go to YouTube, go to that little search bar in the top right-hand corner, and you're going to type in the letters KBPK. Once again, that is KBPK. And you will find our YouTube page. It is the first result that shows up, and you can find the Coaches Show right there, not just this week, but also every week. And I'm not just talking about this season. I'm talking about past years as well. We've got a playlist up there that is also for the entirety of the Coaches Show ever since we've been putting it up on YouTube. That spans all the way back to 2013, if I remember correctly. So if you want to go back and watch prior Coaches Shows in addition to each and every week, that's where you can go. Again, that is the YouTube page. You'll search KBPK.
So Ryan Osborne, the host of the Coaches Show. Hey, you want insight to Fullerton College and Fullerton College sports? There's no better place to go than the Coaches Show. Up every Friday on 90.1 KBPK. We're at the half right now where the Hornets are up 15-0 over Southwestern. Corey Neyland's back on the air with us. Corey, I've got to ask you, we talked in the car on the way down here, and you guys heard me say I thought Brian Crook's shutout would have a shutout or 6 points at the most defensively. They've done that. But I expected a lot more offensively. So I'm going to get out of the way for just a second, let you and Ryan talk, and let me know. I'll be close earshot, but let me know what that first half looked like to both of you.
It looked good. All right, Mike, you can come back now. No, the first half defensively is good. They played like they should have played, like they came out and showed purpose, and that's what you see in a shutout here. So you're looking at good things. That defensive front has really shown up for the Hornets, especially Troy McDonald. Jason Wallace had a couple big plays as well. The big interception by Zach Brogdon. I mean, he's in there. Whenever he's in, he seems to make one play, one game, when he's in the ball game. And the secondary, I think the secondary for the Fullerton, they've really played well this whole season. I think this is going to be one of the more underrated groups or underappreciated groups that Phil Austin has had. But they played really well this season. And offensive side, that identity, you just keep waiting for it to happen. They show glimpses on a couple plays, but then they revert back to, they revert back. And so I think it's a good first half, could be better.
And Corey, when you look at how this offense goes, and it'll be interesting to see in this second half, if they kind of go to what we saw similar against San Bernardino Valley. First half, kind of mixed in the pass and the rush as well. But in the second half, it was extremely rush heavy. They got, I believe it was 150 of their nearly 300 yards rushing in just the final stages of the third and the entirety of the fourth. They were able to get that run game going. They haven't been able to do so too much here in the first half. So if you're Fullerton College, you kind of expand the playbook, look at rushing the ball a little bit more, get that success going again, and then it opens things up for Galban to throw over the top, or Trey as well. Mm-hmm. And one thing that's interesting in talking to Mark Pavlovich this year, or this week actually, and yourself, is you guys said, you know what would really suit the Fullerton College Hornets? Something like a wishbone. And you know what we saw today?
I lit up when I saw that formation. I was like, yeah, go ahead, Garrett. Go ahead, James. I mean, it was a nice formation, and they picked up positive yardage out of it. That's the thing.
They gained 4 first downs off of that same formation. They went from their own 40 all the way down to inside the 20-yard line using that formation.
Yeah, I like that. In Southwestern, on the defensive side of the ball, they played outstanding. I think they've been flying around like the defense that they had in the past few years before the COVID situation took over, and they played really well on that defensive side of the ball. There's been nothing that has been a big gainer for the Hornets, because every pass down the field that they've tried, defensive secondary has been there. The linebackers have been playing well. The defensive line, they haven't had a tremendous rush except when they bring that corner blitz and they brought a safety blitz. That's when they got the Chandler Galban. They've had a quality first half. Even though they're down 15-0, you like the way their defense is playing. Their offense really can step up. And we'll see what happens in the second half.
If you want to look at something that's also a big positive for Southwestern, is their offense and how they've been able to gain yardage. Mm-hmm. Because you look at how they played against Golden West, it seemed like a singular first down was so hard to come by, and their offense just couldn't find that one key. They ended up playing 4 different quarterbacks last week against Golden West to try and mix and match different styles, try and mix and match different plays and open up that playbook, but they couldn't get something rolling. Here in the first half, it seemed like, especially in the first quarter, once they got themselves that first down, they were starting to get themselves rolling. Now, they don't convert it into points, and they've been shut out over the last 6 quarters, but a stark difference from what we saw the previous week against Golden West, where it just seemed like yardage, 10 at the most, was really hard for them. But all of a sudden, they switched that over to this week, and they are able to gain those first downs that they couldn't get last week.
Yeah, and it's funny you say they got no points. They scored 6 last week, but they played better offensively this week. Even though they haven't scored, they played much better. They look like an offensive unit who had a game plan and a design coming in here against Fullerton. It's just that Fullerton's defense, well, they finally stepped up and doing what Brian Crooks, Phil Austin, and Dave Robinson and the rest of the crew said they should do.
One more thing about that Southwestern offense that I want to highlight are the wide receivers for Southwestern. They have a lot of speed. They have a lot of sliveriness to take from Corey Neyland's book, and they are extremely shifty once they get those screen passes. So if they can use those early on in the third quarter, it can open things up for them.
I'm so glad you guys bought my dictionary. I mean, there were a couple words in there today. Ryan used one last week.
Scissory, man. They're going to be scissory in the second half.
Yeah, I'm glad the book is dictionary selling well.
Yeah.
Oh, so and you were talking about the coaches show earlier. If you like things with the show in it, with the name and the title, also check out the show on sportsnetusa.net. It's what a few guys did during the COVID, we'll call it COVID break of 2020, where we got a chance to talk to not just Fullerton College athletic trainers and athletic directors, and coaches. We talked to community college, we just talked to community college athletic people around the state, not just in Southern California, but up north to Napa Valley, in the Central Valley, before to Jason Smith when he was head coach in the Central Valley. And we talked to everybody, College of the Canyons, AD. We went overseas with the Coaches Show with Jason Perez talking football in Scotland. We went to Arizona to talk. So check out the show and those shows on sportsnetusa.net as well.
So we get ready for the second half of football here on sportsnetusa.net. Ryan Osborne, Corey Neyland, and myself, the old guy, bringing you this game from DeVore Stadium tonight as the Hornets are up by 15. It's the Hornets 15, the Jaguars 0 here on sportsnetusa.net. And of course, if you're riding around in your car right now and you're listening to our game, well, swing on by Euclid in the 91, Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That used Toyota, maybe you just need to get your car tuned up. Maybe you need to buy some new tires. Just that quick tune-up and oil change. Well, no better place to go than Miller Toyota of Anaheim, a proud sponsor of community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located at Euclid in the 91.
Two scores real quick, guys. 28-7 San Bernardino Valley over San Diego Mesa, and Long Beach 21-0 over East LA.
Let's get ready for the second half of exciting community college football here on sportsnetusa.net. As the Jags are back deep to receive this kickoff to start the second half. Grab it at the 10. Looking for an alley on the 20. Break one tackle. It's a foot race. Turned at the 20. Ball comes out. Who comes down with it? It was in the air. They're going to call it out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. At the 47, the Hornets almost get a break on a great return by Southwestern across midfield.
Sean Bryant did what they needed to do coming out to start this second half of play, get their offense in positive field position, that plus field position at the 46.
Brandon Smith, who was at a good first half at quarterback.
And Mark, Dimitri Hernandez and Jordan Rice are now starting at the end position. Troy McDonald doesn't get the start in the second half. Remember, he limped off the field in the second quarter.
Stevie Orr now back in at quarterback, the sophomore quarterback out there for the Jags. Be first down and 10, right at the 46. Orr staggers his count, comes back, lefty, flips it over here. Nice little pitch and catch. Back to the line of scrimmage. Great reaction to the throw, Corey, for no gain.
Chandler Brown, the safeties for Fullerton having quietly an outstanding season. Donovan and Chandler doing well. Jalen Early cleaned it up. Jalen Early, his motor runs high out there for the Hornets, 33.
Davis catches the ball, turns, and gets a gain of maybe about 6 inches on the play. Jourdain to the near side of the field. Looks back over there. Davis comes in the slot to the near side of the field. Orr at quarterback. Second down and 10. Orr runs, takes it himself, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's where he gets to. 2 defensive plays for no gain by the defense.
Well, the defense came. Jalen Early slipped. Otherwise, he would have made the tackle in the backfield. Dimitri Hernandez read the pitch perfectly, so Orr couldn't make the pitch. Barely lucky enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. Again, first 2 plays goes to Fullerton defense.
Third down and 10. This side, they flip it over to, they get Dorsey over to the far side. Davis is going with him on that far side. Jourdain stays to the near side. Bryant in there. Here comes the blitz by the Hornets. It's a jailbreak. Middle of the field, incomplete pass. And it was a jailbreak, Corey. Everybody in white looked like they were coming after the quarterback.
Second time they've done that. Left man-to-man coverage on the outside. Chandler Brown, the lone safety, stays there. It wouldn't have been enough for the first down because he was there. But again, outstanding defensive stop for the Hornets as Griffin goes back deep. You're just itching to call one, are you?
I am. You know, I want him to catch it clean on the dead run, make it through that first wave, and kiss him goodbye. He's standing on his 15. Here comes the pressure. Kick is off. High floater. He's going to take it. He takes it on the 15, misses one, steps the outside. He's going to get one block, turns the corner, stays on his feet, runs over, gets to the 40, all the way up. A nice return. He needed one more block. And Corey Neyland, I might be hanging my head out the window and screaming touchdown for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was good recovery by the Jaguars to come up. And you like the way Kashawn finishes a run. He didn't step out of bounds, but he finished with the defender who made a nice form tackle. And both of them make nice plays, but excellent field position for the Hornets at the 43. And let's see how they come out here to start the second half.
Smith comes to the near side of the field. In the slot next to Smith is going to be Mike McCray. And then Kashawn is going to be the furthest inside on this side. First down and 10. There's Kashawn on a slant. Somebody was listening to Corey Neyland at the 40. He straight arms, stays out, gets taken down at the 30. Corey Neyland, that's that 5-yard route you've been asking for all year.
Yeah, you give him one-on-one with somebody. The first person is not going to take him down. You have an excellent play by Michael Harrington to push him out of bounds. That was a touchdown-saving tackle, but you see the quickness.
First down and 10 at the 30 for the Hornets. Great block by Brandon Rankins. Galban takes it down, decides to run out of bounds. He does. Rankins not only is a runner, a pass. Corey, that's one of, you know what, he may not be the fastest, but I'm going to say he's close to being a 5-tool running back.
And that's one of the things when we talked to the running backs coaches for Fullerton College, they said the number one thing they emphasize with him is the pass block, because they said anyone can run at the community college level. If you're a running back here, you've got to learn to block first.
Second down and 8. Galban keeps it himself that time, gets taken for a loss.
Yeah, Chandler's going to have to hand that ball off a couple times just to freeze up and hold the attention of the defense. Those linebackers are there. They're all over Rankin. You let Brandon take that punishment, for lack of a better word, the next couple times, and then you pull it out and try to take off.
Moore comes in at running back with Brandon Rankins.
I like this set.
Third down and 11 at the 30 for the Hornets. Galban goes to Brandon Rankin. That time throws it to him out in the flat, and a good low tackle on the big man for no gain.
Donnell Frazier makes the stop. And you know what? You like the formation. You like the play call. You just like the defense better. I mean, they read that perfectly.
So they're outside of field goal range. They think they're too close to punt it away. So fourth down and 14. They keep the offense on the field. Smith to the near side of the field. In the slot is Mike McCray. Then you put Thomas, the leading receiver for the Hornets. Huffman to the far side of the field. Fourth down and 15 for the Hornets. Galban's got time. Pump fakes. Feels the pressure. Throws it to an offensive lineman. And it's going to be a flag on the play. And Corey Neyland, he's taken 2 reads, and when that second read isn't there, he's got no place to go with the ball.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where you just have to dump it off to DeJounte and let him try to get that first down. I don't care if it's 13 yards down the field. You give the ball up because you don't want to make a big mistake by throwing an interception.
So we're going to get illegal batting or touching the ball. An offensive lineman cannot have a pass thrown to him and touch it. He can have it bounce off of him, but he can't touch it.
Yeah, he can't be the first to touch the ball. So if it's tipped by a receiver and then the offensive lineman catches it, then he's okay, yes.
But it was thrown right at him. And, you know, Corey, the reactions of playing weekend football, you know, you saw him do. He reached up to catch it, and then you could see him, Ryan, go, oh, shucks, I shouldn't touch this. So it's a flag against the Hornets.
And it's a turnover on down. So the penalty looks like it's going to be assessed on the first down. Or actually, you're going to call decline, so first down and 35.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you mark that off, then you have to run fourth down again.
Yeah, and if you're Southwestern, you got to throw Fullerton off balance because the defense is coming hard. So if you get enough time for a sluggo or an out and up, take that chance. But again, you got a tight end, use your tight end for a little quick hitter.
Dorsey goes to the far side of the field. Jourdain to the near side of the field. Or still in at quarterback. No, I have to check. I think it is. Or still in at quarterback. Goes back. Or steps out. Takes off. Slides at the 40. Gain of 5 on the play. we've got a flag down by the 32, holding against Southwestern with 10:44 to go here in the third quarter, and the Hornets up by 15.
You know, the Hornets will take it, but that's one of those holding penalties that we talk about that is passed, the play is passed, and then you're going to call the hold. It's a hold, so the official's correct. It was a hold.
But it has nothing to do with the play any longer.
Right.
So they're going to mark it back to the 25 for Southwestern.
And if you're official, you're thinking, I got to call it. I know I got to call it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll throw the flag.
It's like Ryan and I taping down the camera. We know we got to do it.
3 times.
First down for the Jags, right at the 25. Or it goes back. Or it gets eaten alive, swallowed, and spit out at the 15-yard line.
Jason Wallace, Amari Williams, again, met at the quarterback. But you know who made that play, guys? O'Shea Davis took the receiver out of the flat, prevented, because that's where he wanted to go. They wanted to go to Escanu. Is that no? Charles Jourdain on the near side. O'Shea Davis took it away, and Orr had no place to go.
I mean, you can hear the sound now in the quarterback's head. Dun, 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 dun. The big white shark's coming after him. They run the option play. And once again, the defense, Corey, the 4-down linemen for Fullerton are dominating this game.
2.5 sacks already for Jason Wallace. How many is that today? 5?
5. So it's third down, and it's going to take Southwestern longer to get a first down. That'll take us to get back to Fullerton in Anaheim, California. 9:03 to go here in the second half. Brian Crooks says, let him run. If he wants to take off running. He says, no, thank you. I don't want to. As Orr comes out and says, I think I'll just sit down right here and we'll punt the ball away. Thank you, Fullerton College.
That was just ugly all the way around. Fullerton was late on defense. Southwestern didn't know what the play was called. And I think what happened is Orr just simply wanted to hand the ball off. Back didn't comply with his wishes, and he takes it down at the original line of scrimmage.
So it's fourth down, 2.5 miles. Griffin inside the 50, standing at the 42. We get motion by the Jags. It's going to back them up 5 more yards. Oh.
So what happened was Fullerton drew them off sides by faking and yelling that they were coming. And so they pick up 5.
So here they come to the outside, almost off the side of the foot. Going to hit right at the 40, bounces sideways and gets to the 43. So with 7:54 to go here in the third quarter, it's the Hornets 15, the Jaguars 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborne, the host of the Coaches Show, along with us here as the Hornets trying to extend their lead, and we have a player down on the field right at the 35 for Southwestern. So we have a timeout on the field with 7:54 to go. Next week, we're on the road again. Heading to San Diego Mesa. Gabby, Corey, Ryan, and myself. Not necessarily a 9 o'clock starting time, but then again, we shall see. You never know who Corey Neyland knows or where they live, so we might be out the door, and, you know, he might say to us, hey, look, we got invited to breakfast. We might be up by 6 o'clock out the door.
No, we're not getting out by 6.
All I can say is if we get up at 6 o'clock and we show up at the arena at 5 or the Coliseum at 12 noon for a 6 o'clock game, he needs to tell Gabby Neyland, we'll go home in 11 hours. He looks out the window, making sure she didn't get in the car and drive away.
Let's hope the young man is okay. I mean, he just was coming off the field and just sat down. I couldn't tell what number he is.
Gets help off, taking over the trainer's table. Galban comes in back at quarterback.
Will we see a heavy dose of run, run, run?
I'd like to.
And I think they found something over the middle with Kashan the last drive as well.
Brandon Rankin at quarterback. Picks up the blitz. Galban through the middle of the field. And if he throws it on the money, flag.
But that's okay, Mark, because if he throws it on the money, it's going to go for naught. Or was it offsides?
Waiting to see what the call is. They pointed at Fullerton, so it is against Fullerton.
So they get Daniel Medelis. So again, they tried to hit Christopher on that seam route. I mean, he's got speed coming from there.
Byers to the far side of the field. Kuntz in the slot. Brandon Rankins. They hand it off to Rankins. Straight up the middle. Stays on his foot. Almost gets out of his shoes. Picks up the penalty plus 3 more yards. 2nd down and 7.
Nice strong run. He hits the hole hard. Nate Ramirez. Peyton Sattler on that right side.
2nd down, 7 at the 40 for the Hornets. Galban goes back. Throws over here. Finds it to Kashan. Kashan gets to the 35. 3rd down and about 2.
Elijah Williams. Again, this Southwestern defense, this secondary is sure tackling.
And they mark him down at the 36. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 4. Griffin goes from right to left in the formation. Now goes back from right to left in the formation. Galban starts Griffin in motion, goes across from right to left, hands it off to Rankins. Brandon Rankins turns the corner, heads upfield, north to south. In this case, actually north to south. Yeah, that's the way we're going down this field. 1st down, Hornets.
And again, you're not going to arm tackle Brandon Rankins. Josh Williams was there, but not strong enough with just 2 arms.
1st down and 10 at the 30. Hornets line up quickly. Fake it to Rankins. Galban steps in, outside, goes down. He's going to slide, flakes off 1. Looked like he was going to go slide, doesn't. Gives a little push, steps out of bounds at the 25. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. It's the Hornets 15. Southwestern 0. 1st down, 2nd down, and 5 for the Hornets. Ryan Black now back in the ball game at running back. They hand it off to Black. He turns the right side. Shakes off 1, stays on his feet, spins, gets down over the 15, all the way down to the 12. So Ryan Black comes in, and for a smaller back, he refuses to go down.
Smaller back?
That's
Black?
what I said.
Let's see. Ryan Black, small, 5'11", 205.
Oh, so we're the same height. He's a small guy. 1st down and 10. They hand it off to Ryan Black again, off a left tackle. This time Black goes down off a left tackle, gets down to the 7. Okay, I'm not 205. I'm a little shorter than 5'11". We get time out on the field for an injury. But I'm quick.
Not a small back.
Okay.
Powerful back. Quick back. Fast back.
I had a friend that owned a fast back. Not a running back, it was a car. Fast back.
Southwestern player off the field with some help.
2nd down for the Hornets at the 6. Galban takes it himself, steps out of 1 tackle, tries to set his feet. They're going to mark him down short.
And see, that play was opened up because Ryan Black, because of Brandon Rankin's picking up those yardage on runs, then he can pull it back and take off up the middle.
Black stays in the game at running back. First and goal. They hand it off to Black.
Touchdown.
He's at the thing. And wrestling match going down. Flags coming out.
So it's Andrew Sanders, the second for Fullerton, and I can't tell the defender for Southwestern.
Another flag comes out. Another flag comes out. And that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets.
No, not unsportsmanlike conduct. That's stupidity. That's
Okay.
a stupidity flag right there.
Okay.
Let's hope the young man who's down on the ground just shaken up.
So they run a straight dive play into the end zone. They come out wrestling with the football at the end. A flag is thrown.
And that's Jason Martinez, guys, walking off under his own power under San Ysidro High School. And they never called a touchdown.
I didn't see a touchdown. That's what I kept looking for.
Did they?
Oh,
Okay.
somebody called a touchdown. I never saw it. Thank you, Corey, because I didn't see it either. That's why I didn't yell touchdown.
Far side of the field, the line judge ran up to it, called it a touchdown. Near side didn't have it.
Okay. Because they didn't put anything up on the board either.
Well, I got 21 on our scoreboard.
Oh, okay. Well, if you've got it up there, it's got to be right.
Of course it is. Now, let's see who they're kicking out. Well, I know who they're kicking out the game, Martinez and Sanders. Then let's see if Kashawn Griffin or Charles Byers stays in the ball game also.
We'll see. I find it interesting. Ryan says they called it a touchdown, but the official scorekeeper here at the stadium has not put that up on the board.
So while they're sorting that out, West LA is winners over LA Harbor, 30-9.
Offsides, declined. Now it's a touchdown, Ryan. They were discussing the flags on the field. So the Hornets get in. Did you hear who he was ejected?
That's Andrew Sanders, 75.
Somebody else got ejected for the Hornets also.
No, unsportsmanlike conduct. They didn't throw him out. It's going to be on. They're going to do the penalty on the kick.
Okay. So it's the Hornets now. They finally called a touchdown official on the field with 4:52 to go.
Riverside's up 28-17 over Mount Sac. Bakersfield staying in it against Ventura, down 3, going into the fourth quarter, 20-17.
So we're getting ready for the point after with 4:52. So a lot of flags, a lot of discussion. There has been a few after play curricular activities on this field against these two teams. The ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:52 to go here in the third quarter, it's now the Hornets 22, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborne, Corey Neyland, and the old guy calling the action here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Good handle by Bobby Palacios to lay down and set that because that was a bad snap. Casey Mazzota out at Mount San Jacinto, Mark, who we've had on the show on Sportsnet USA.net, 42-18 is Eagles up over Desert.
Are they? They're 5-1 or they're 6-0?
I thought they were 6-0.
I thought they were 6-0 also. I can't be sure on that one. Corey Neyland going to fix his makeup. He does know the camera isn't honest, doesn't he?
Well, sometimes you have to be sure.
Oh, okay, all right. Putting a little powder on his face. So the Hornets get unsportsmanlike conduct because the chicanery down on the field, that moves them all the way back to the 10 where they will kick off at. Christian Jourdain will stand at the 30. Southwestern could get a great return on this one and feel like they're back in the game with 4:52 to go here in the third quarter. Getting ready for the officials to give us the word is the Hornets are up by 22. Golden West College won their game today, so they're still undefeated in conference. Kickoff. Going to take in at the 40. Looks for a gap at the 50. Hit at the 45. A flag from the near side of the field. The play is on the far side of the field. And Ryan, I mean, what's the near side of the field judge seeing down here that he threw the far side of the field?
That's one thing that's kind of puzzling is that, as you mentioned, that's on the near side of the field. The play is out near the 50-yard marker on the far side. So if he's looking at it, the only thing that I can think of is he sees some sort of crackback block on the near side. Because other than that, it's kind of hard to judge what would be a penalty on the far side of the field, the opposite side of where he was.
And now he's running over the guy, and he threw the flag basically 20 yards. And we'll see what the flag is. And now this game has really become a game about flags. So they're going to mark it off against the Jaguars. Moving it back to the 40, across the 50 to the 40. Where's he going? Ryan, where's he going? He's now down at the 25.
That would have to be double personal fouls against, or an unsportsmanlike against Southwestern, 2 of them. Because that is exactly 2 15-yard penalties.
I've never seen that called on a play. So Southwestern, who catches the ball, returns it across midfield, takes it to the 45, has 2 flags against them, and that moves them all back to the 25. And so, you know, I understand it. If you're the officials now, you want to keep the game in check. So if anything that looks like it's a misdeed by any player, you're going to throw a flag on them the rest of this game. So Southwestern will start off at the 25-yard line or stays in at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 25. Or looks to throw, finds the middle of the field, finally gets it to that man I've talked about all night long, Dorsey. And Dorsey takes it across midfield all the way up to the 47. So Dorsey, who's been running routes all night, finally has one thrown his direction, and the sophomore wide receiver who has 10 receptions this season gets a big gain for Southwestern.
That was one thing that Corey and I were talking about going into the second half. They've got to open up things for their wide receivers, get them into some more open space with an opportunity to run with a quick throw.
Jourdain, near side of the field, Dorsey, far side of the field. Or goes back, or flips it up here. Flips it on to Davis. Davis cuts upfield, gets a block, goes back against traffic, gets across the 35 down to 32. So Davis gets a first down.
And then if you're Fullerton, you've got to be able to wrap him up there because he was just within inches of being on the sideline and that play ending, but he gets an additional about 8 to 9 yards.
So 2 personal fouls against the Jags, and it moves them back 30 yards in penalties. First down and 10 at the 33. Dorsey out far to the left. Davis goes with him to the far side. Jourdain sails to the near side. Or whistle on the play. Timeout, Fullerton College with 3:27 to go. It's the Hornets 22, the Jaguars on the move here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So Corey Neyland, while you were gone, amazing play. We kick off from the 10. The Jags bring it back to the 40. 2 individual personal fouls against the Jags, marked off 30 yards against them, and they start on the 25. Wow. I said to Ryan, I'm watching the official, and he's walking, and he's walking, and he's walking, and I'm thinking, where's this guy going?
Mm-hmm. You know, that's tough when you're trying to get back into a ball game, especially after a big penalty against the Hornets on their touchdown.
Mm-hmm,
that's
exactly.
a perfect opportunity to get back into it. Your field position is better. And you just saw a big play by Dorsey and another big play here.
Yeah. Dorsey and Davis come back-to-back with 2 big catches.
So the Hornets with Wallace, Hernandez, Marshall, and Morris up front. Brogdon, Vasquez, and Hurtado, the backers. Davis and Wright, the corners, near and far. Vasquez and Smith are the safeties.
Albert Robinson, the running back, standing there next to Orr. Robinson sneaks out. Here they come. Orr gets sacked. Sack number 6 for the Hornets, all the way back to the 42.
And that's Sean Morris again. He just, well, bull rush would be apt on that play, Mark.
So it's a loss of 7, 8, 9 on the play.
That's when you had those Bulldogs working for you.
Yeah, I do. I like them Bulldogs. One big Bulldog. Dorsey goes out far to the right. Now he comes back in close. Albert Robinson, the running back, or the quarterback. 2nd down and 20. We get a flag on the play. Delay a game against Southwestern. Moving back 5 more yards. So that moves them back across the 45 to the 47. Orr looks over, gets the signs. Now 2nd down and 25 for Southwestern. Jourdain, near side of the field. Davis goes to the far side of the field. Dorsey goes with him. 2nd down and 25. Throws the middle of the field. Taken right there. It's the officials running interference. And you have to laugh at that one as Davis catches it, and it was the official in his way. So Davis picks it off. Nice catch by Davis, not being distracted by the official. And it now brings up a 3rd down and 20 right at the 42. 3rd down and 20 at the 42. We're at 1:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Hornets up by 22. Dorsey goes far out to the right. Davis comes to the near side of the field with Jourdain. Robinson, the running back. Orr fakes it to Robinson, goes back. Orr tries to run. Orr flips it up in the field. Taken out of the air on an incredible catch, and then a flag is thrown on the middle of the field.
And O'Shea Davis is going to be pass interference on the offense, Mark, or illegal man downfield. Wow. So I thought it was pass interference, but O'Shea Davis baited Orr to throw the ball, and he was late on it. And nice catch, outstanding catch, but again, when you got a player downfield. And Mark, can you explain that rule again for the audience?
So the offensive lineman cannot go down any further than 3 to 5 yards when a pass is thrown. If they drift down beyond that, they're an illegal receiver downfield. And the reason they don't allow them to do that, that's also an aspect of deception, because you may think the tackle is eligible. A tackle, if they're going to be eligible, has to declare to the referee. The referee declares it to the defense so that I know Ryan Osborne can catch a pass if it goes out for it. that's why the flag is thrown, because as a defender, Corey, if I'm a linebacker and it's between me or Ryan and you're closer to Ryan, you think, well, he's eligible. I got to cover him. Opens me up, and that's why the flag is thrown. So with 1:13 called, it's the Hornets 22. Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, any update on that San Diego Mesa game?
I'm sure there is. Yes. San Diego Mesa, Mark, last I checked, it was 28-7 San Bernardino Valley. And that was in the third quarter. So I'll check for you right now. And we shall see.
Corey Neyland, our crack communicator.
Hey,
Here.
brevity is the key to effective communication.
Fourth down
I came here to watch football and escape from my homework.
at 11. Thank you, Professor Neyland.
Now it's 28-14, guys. 7:01 to play third quarter.
So we get a timeout again with the Jags. That takes them down to 1. So it was interesting because I was going to just look at Ryan Osborne and say, I'm looking for the guy that looks like he's coming out to play quarterback for the Jags.
And was that 2 timeouts in a row?
Yes. Yeah.
So 4th down and 11.
And it looked like, Corey, they were going to run some sort of option with a running back at quarterback. Now they're bringing Orr back out on the field.
And he's had no time to throw in this third quarter.
Yeah. Jourdain and Davis stay to the near side of the field. Dorsey goes to the far side of the field. Robinson in at running back for the Jags. 4th down and 11, right at the 34. Orr at quarterback, look things over. Hornets, standard 4 down. They're creeping in on both corners. Here they come. Jailbreak, throws it across the middle of the field. Good defense, a catch right there, but not enough for a first down. And man-to-man coverage only allows 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, great catch by Jalen Poston. He just had nowhere to go. It's Chandler Brown again. He was looking for his second pick of the season, but makes the 4th down stop instead, and Fullerton comes back on offense.
With 1:08 to go here in the third quarter, it's the Hornets 22, the Jags 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So I'm sorry, I didn't hear the San Diego Mesa call, Corey. It was with their winning?
28-14,
Okay.
San Bernardino Valley up in the third.
Okay.
So they're bouncing back big time against the last time out against Fullerton.
Yeah, Trey Edwards comes in, quarterback. Trey fakes it, takes off running, steps across, gets across the 40, first down for the Hornets.
And what you like about that play, Devin Morris steps up, takes the blitzing linebacker, and allows Trey Edwards to pick up that first down.
So it'll be first down. Huffman to the far side of the field. Griffin in the slot on that side of the field. Moore goes in motion. They run it to Smith. Smith counters, comes across the middle, sidestep, stays on his feet, across the 45, down to the 48. Gain of 8 on the play. Jordan Smith gets a nice little pickup there. Moore stays in at running back.
And that's Alpha Sola who comes up and makes a stop.
Edwards still at quarterback. Gain of 7. I'll make it 2nd down and 3, just across the 45. They look over the sidelines. We're down to 8 seconds. They're letting the clock run down. 4, 3, and as we're going to get headed ready to head to the fourth quarter, as we head to the fourth quarter, it's the Hornets 22, Southwestern 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, if you're heading any place, you ought to have a car that can get you there. That's the biggest thing. Transportation is the thing of the day for all of us. And if you're going to drive a car that's going to get you there, you better hope that it does. If you've got one of those that you're not sure of, well, then the next best thing you need to do is head to Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Go on over and take a look at the new cars, the used cars. See what they've got to offer. Some of the best prices, the best deals, the best offers in Orange County and Southern California. Walk on that lot and say, Corey, Ryan, Mark, Ed Ford from SportsNetUSA.net sent me over and said, I'll get the deal of a lifetime here at Miller Toyota. They'll take the time to walk you around, show you what you're looking for, and at the end of the day, you'll be one of those happy individuals that say, there's no better place to go. I bought my car, my Toyota, at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. So next time you're out shopping for a car, go to Euclid in the 91. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, a proud sponsor of community college sports, but most of all, education. 2nd down and 3. Hornets. We're going to get motion against the Hornets. Smith took off just a little early on the play. So we're still at 15 minutes here in the 4th quarter. The referee thought I was still doing my commercial, so he threw a flag.
And let's see if they run the same play, because they're setting something up out of this formation.
They do. They bring black over to this side. They put more over to the far side. They just switch that around there. 2nd down and 8. Trey. Straight dive to Brandon Rankins. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And Huffman's running down the field going, hey, there ain't nobody chasing me.
And this is what if it was the same formation, this is what you'd set up. As they're trying to fix the clock, as you see the official raising the roof as Jordan Tate is checking in, Mark.
He starts the clock. So Tate to the near side of the field. Now for the Hornets. Moore's in the backfield by himself. Handed off to Moore. Moore breaks through the hole. Gets tripped up by a shoestring. And Corey, if he wasn't tripped up, I'm going to tell you, I'd be screaming before he hit the 30. Touchdown Hornets.
Yeah, and I think Masek threw him off with the motion, and they handed off to Moore, who was quick through the hole.
1st down and 10, right at the 46. Trey keeps it himself. Runs straight up the middle. Gain of 5 on the play.
And Trey got anxious. Trey wanted to run the ball.
He was antsy.
All he needed, hand the ball off to Devin one more time. If Devin only picks up 1 yard, that's okay. You'll freeze the backers the next time, and that's when you get your big hitter.
You could see he was antsy. He wanted to go. Tate comes in near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Giovanni Masick. Edwards, 2nd down and 5. Moore straight up the middle, and that was a hole that Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborne, and the old guy could have run through. Kudos to the offensive line. Ryan Osborne, we heard that from the offensive line coach. The only way they get rewarded is like plays like that when 20 yards or more are picked up.
Ramirez, Peroni up front. Sherrod Green as well.
Hand it off to Moore again. Moore says, hey, I need a little help on that one. Give me a hug on that play. And he gets a little help on that play by Peroni, who grabs him, Corey, and drags him about 2 feet further.
Sorry about that. That wasn't Sherrod Green who opened up that last hole. That was Craig Michael Rush.
2nd down and 5. Ryan Black now in the game at running back. Tate comes in near side of the field. Thomas in the slot. And the Hornets are going to call timeout. So with 12:49 to go here in the 4th quarter, the Hornets have a comfortable lead. 22-0 over Southwestern here on SportsNetUSA.net. Next week, we're at San Diego Mesa.
Yes, we are.
Ryan Osborne, Corey Neyland, and guys.
Ryan with us again?
Yeah, he's here.
Right,
he's here.
Okay.
Is he smiling? Oh. I guess we're going back to Chili's and Ryan saying, I'd like the largest banana split you got and just throw some extra whipped cream on it.
Well, you know what? It looks like I will be watching that sporting event after all.
Ooh, man. That's even colder than my dig.
It's okay. He can watch it because he doesn't have a rooted interest since his season ended 2 weeks ago.
See, that's the wonderful thing about having more than one team.
Oh,
Hey, Houston.
Yeah, when you ask him what team he roots for in football, he
warm,
goes, well,
humid.
Yes. Here, let's put it this way. You ask me what team I like in baseball, I got 7 right off the bat.
6 of them didn't make it, but he's got
Yes.
7. Trey comes back in. Black at the running back. Tate near side of the field. 2nd down and 5. Tate rolls out. Looks at Black. Tries to throw it to him, and a good defensive play as Black is wide open and the ball gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
In volleyball, you call that a kill.
3rd down for the Hornets. 12:44 to go. Huffman comes to the near side of the field. Griffin with him. Kuntz in the game, the far side of the field. Black the running back. Edwards the quarterback. 3rd down and 7. Edwards goes back. Steps away from the pressure. Cuts up the middle. Stays on his feet. Lunges. It's going to be close. And they give him a 1st down.
And again, Hafoka again was coming from the safety position. Edwards did a nice job, pull the ball down, don't force anything, pick up that 1st down.
Edwards drops the ball, picks it up, flips it to Kashan, and there is your trick play of the night. I'm going to fake it to you. I'm going to drop it on the ground. I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to give you a little free throw push in your direction for a gainer.
The ugliest 4.5-yard gain you'll ever see, and it took away a touchdown from Ryan Black because, guys,
Yeah.
man. Peroni, Ramirez, and Michael Rush opened up a huge hole.
Devin Moore back in the game at running back. Griffin goes in motion from left to right. Edwards throwing over, and there's a grab of a jersey. Huffman's running down, and somebody's saying, you know, do you guys use Downy in your jerseys? What a nice little soft touch. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 5.
Let's hope that throw didn't throw him out of rhythm, because that rhythm they've gotten into running the ball. Devin Moore has been outstanding on this drive himself.
Moore stays in at running back. Tate comes the near side of the field. Griffin in the slot with him. Smith goes to the far side of the field. Kuntz in the slot. Moore the running back. Trey takes it himself, goes up the middle, gets hit at the 10, falls forward at the 8, and it's 4th and 2. You would think the Hornets are going for it.
And that's the play he scored on in the 1st quarter to make it 7-0.
They mark him down at the 9, so yes, it is 4th and 2. They keep the same group in there. Moore now in a deep set back at running back. Edwards feels the pressure coming. They jump. Should have been a flag. Trey throws it out of bounds. And once again, we're going to have offsides against the Jags.
I call far start on Trey Edwards, but it is going to be offsides against the Jags because Trey Edwards he didn't just bark out. He came out and was demonstrative on that hard count. It's going to give him the 1st down, but again, he moved his arms, he came forward, he nodded his head. That's a hard count that should have been a legal procedure.
Yeah, you can do it with your voice, and you can do your regular body motion if you do that on every play. But once you divert from that body motion to draw a team off sides, it's illegal procedure against a quarterback. 1st and goal at the 5. We're going to get another flag.
Pulling guard.
Illegal procedure against the Hornets.
Craig Michael Rush has been opening holes all drive up the middle. This time he said, "You gonna want me to pull? Okay, I'll pull, but let me get a head start."
Don't you wish everybody we knew would pull their wallets that fast?
That's why they call me slow draw.
Now brings 1st and goal from the 10. Brandon Rankin's now in at running back. They hand it off to Brandon. Brandon goes straight up the middle. And if Corey Neyland's calling the play right now, you know what he does, Ryan Osborne? He hands it off to Brandon Rankins. He hands it off to Brandon Rankins. He hands it off to Brandon Rankins.
Not necessarily need to hand it off.
You might throw him a little pitch.
Yeah, I may run an option with him and pitch the ball out. You got to feel for Devin Moore and Ryan Black, though.
Second and goal for the Hornets. Trey looks over. 10:39 to go. Nice turnout from the Fullerton crowd up here. It's not an easy drive to Southwestern. Trey Edwards says, I'll run behind all the big bodies. Gets across the 5. They're going to mark him down at the 4. Be third down and goal at the 4. At the 10-minute mark, the Hornets are up 22-0. So Golden West College won today. It looks like San Diego Mesa may lose today, and the Hornets may win today. That will put the conference race between two football teams in the Southern Conference, the Hornets and Golden West, in week 2 of conference play. Trey following the crowd. Gets caught from behind, and ball comes out and is recovered. Oh, they're calling him down at the 4?
They called him down at the 4.
Wow.
Either way, it's fourth down, so either way, it's a turnover on downs.
No, it's fourth down now.
Oh, I thought it was fourth down.
No, it was third down. It's fourth down. That's why it was a huge turnover.
Oh, confused me. I'd be upset if I was a Southwestern fan.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised. If I'm a Southwestern fan, I'm sorry, from my perspective, that was a fumble and a turnover. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 9:18 to go in the fourth quarter, well, we've finally hit almost Ryan Osborne's age. It's the Hornets 25, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So you look at next week. Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
One thing about driving all the way down here to Southwestern, it takes so long to get here for us from Anaheim in that traffic that Mark added a year to my age. He made me 25 instead of 24.
Well, I don't know. I was sitting in the back seat. I saw you dozing every once in a while.
I would have been asleep on you guys. At 25, I still would have been asleep. It's a nice drive, though.
It's a nice drive.
You know, it was actually really nice and scenic to get here because not only did we end up having some weather in Orange County, but once we got over here, the clouds broke. You can see all the nature that comes through here. Same thing that was said with Ed Ford on our way down here last week as well.
Cool.
Ed was saying it was scenic on the ride down here?
That was me.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Ed Ford used that word scenic. He lives in the garden capital of the world. That's dead garden capitals of the world. Line drive, kick down the middle of the field. Gets touched, bounces, player gives himself up, and then there's piles in the middle of the field. And you got to love Thomas, Corey. A receiver goes down there on the kickoff team, sees a bigger guy, and knocks him flat, and there's nothing like being a little guy. Pancaking somebody, it makes you happier than all get out. 9:15 to go. The Hornets 25. Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Showdown next week. San Diego Mesa. Yeah, we're on the road one more time. Big game next week if Mesa loses. Big game even if they win, but a bigger game if they lose. Quickly thrown out. Ball dropped. Incomplete pass. Jimmy Inman now in at quarterback. Inman flings it over quickly aside. Caught, turned, catch. Nobody gets it down. Ball comes out. Fullerton picks it up. Turnover. Fullerton at the 38-yard line. So the defense comes away with another one. Ryan Osborne set a pick, but Ryan now it's just on top of it with a pick and a fumble.
When you look at that far side of the field, it's a shame for Southwestern because they ended up having a really nice pickup on that play. It was just a quick out to the far side to Jourdain. Jourdain makes one move towards the sideline, puts his weight on that outside step, and then cuts back across the middle for a gain of 12. But he just wasn't able to keep that ball in his hands.
Galban comes back in. Black now in. The running back position, Smith to the near side of the field. Coots in the slot next to him. Here they come, all out blitz. Galban letting the arm go. Got a receiver right there. Caught. Dropped. Are they going to call it? They're going to call it a completion at the 2 to Kashawn Griffin. And Corey, I thought they were going to, when he finally ended up hitting the ground, dropping the ball, they were going to call it incomplete, but they didn't. And the Hornets are going up quick just in case. They hand it off to Black. Black goes straight up the middle, and we're going to get a flag on the play.
It's going to be a false start on the Hornets.
So you've talked about, and I'm going to go to you because you've talked about him all year long. When you talk about Griffin and the type of player he is, you've said more than once, there's very few defensive backs that can stay up with him if you get him on a pattern.
Yeah, and that's really the first long pattern that they've had him do, and that's his longest pass play. That was 38 yards, so his previous was 35, but that was on a catch and run. This one's on a pass. If it was more towards the inside, that's 6 points. But again, nice gain, nice throw, nice catch.
First and goal from the 8 for the Hornets. Black in the backfield. Smith near side of the field. Kuntz in the slot next to him. Griffith in the slot on the far side with Huffman. They run it to Black. Black refuses to go down. Is he in? Touchdown, Hornets. So Black gets that touchdown he was looking for with 8:11 to go. And now the Hornets are up in the 30s.
And for Ryan, that's his second touchdown of the season. His first touchdown came on his first carry of the season, 58 yards. And this time, this is the touchdown he missed on the last drive on that false start penalty. Again, Hornets with that ground game. And I want to ask you both a question after this attempt.
Ball will be spotted at the 10. Kick is up, and it's no good. Flag on the play.
The first missed extra point by Velasquez this season.
So we're going to get, I would say, a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty because of the way they're walking off the field, and I do believe it's against the Hornets. Oh, they won against both teams. So it was unsportsmanlike conduct against Southwestern, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets, offsetting penalties. The point after the touchdown does not count. So with 8:11 to go here in the fourth quarter, it's the Hornets 31, the Jags 0 on sports@usa.net.
Two things. Do you think Kashawn Griffin is the key to the passing game? Not necessarily may not be their best receiver. He could be their best receiver, but do you feel he's the most important part of their passing game to get the ball moving down the field, not just on those passes, but on the interior as well?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think every time, if you could get him the ball 16 times in a game and he catches 10, worst case scenario, he's got 100 yards because I think he'll 5 yards in the catch and 5 yards afterwards, and yeah.
Because I think he'll open it up for everybody else because his excitability is so much that they'll be concentrating on him.
Yeah, I do think that. Ball picked up at the 5, looking for a lane to the outside, cut back in the middle, go against the traffic, go back to the other side of the field. Ball comes out, Hornets come down with it. It should be Hornet football. Oh, you're saying it's the other way?
I thought Southwestern came down with it.
I thought the Hornets came down with it.
Karinsky McGee on the return.
Initially, a Hornet had it. However, coming in at the very end was a Southwestern Jaguar who wrestles it away prior to the Hornet actually maintaining possession.
And that was McGee who got his own fumble back. Second part, the run game for Fullerton. It looks good. Do you think the run game is one of the things that will open up that passing game and make Chandler Galvin feel more comfortable?
Go ahead. I took the last one.
No, I think that's pretty spot on there, Corey, because you look at the way that Fullerton has been able to get themselves successful drives versus unsuccessful drives. And going to exactly what you're talking about, that comfortability for Galban is needed because they've got to get him into a rhythm, and then all of a sudden you see them start cranking out the first downs.
So Pavel Sloboda, Makai Smith, Jesse Bedayako in the ball game, as well as Julius Reed, the new front four. We'll give you this secondary in just a moment as well.
Orr comes back in at quarterback. Orr, quick pass taken there at the 40. One missed tackle. And of course, hit on a player, got to wrap him up. No wrap up on that one, so you give him an extra 3 yards. Hurry up, offense.
And Mark, that's Tedrick Ross on the far side. On the near side, it's Devin Barnes. Zach Brogdon, with one interception. Keon Marshall, and the last linebacker, Oscar Santillan.
So first down and 10, across the 40 to the 42. Or still at a quarterback. Looking to get off that 0. We get a flag on the play, illegal procedure against Southwestern.
And the safeties are going to still be Jacob Vasquez and Chandler Brown. Chandler Brown, he's played every play on defense tonight.
They move it across the 40 down to the 38. We're almost at the 7-minute mark.
He wears that number 3. Troy LaFridge, D'Angelo Ross, just to name 2 former number 3s for the Hornets in most recent memory. Before that, they belonged to 2 running backs, Kenny Turner and Kelvin York.
First and 15. Down lineman, push in the middle of the pocket. Thrown all alone. No one was at home. And what do? You just stand there on the sidelines, catch the ball, and it's first down.
Corey, am I mistaken in remembering Marnez is also a number 3 at one point?
Marnez Ogletree, I thought he was just number 25.
Was he just number 25 both years?
I think so. See, now we got to look.
Well, all I'm going to say is one of you is right. First down and 10 at the 40. Southwestern on the move. Orr back in here. Orr feels it, throws it, has an opportunity to complete it. Throws it down in the dirt. Incomplete pass. So his receivers have found a way to get open in this game. And he has found an answer to it so far as they march down the field with 6:17 to go. It's the Hornets 31. Southwestern 0 here from DeVore Stadium. And the beautiful area of Chula Vista. Second down and 10. Orr looks back. The Hornets, their down linemen have been the difference. They're coming on the corner. They do. They come on the corner, and they don't let Orr let go of the football. Orr, all he can do is pull it down and suck it up as they came from the corner defensively, and the push gets them there also. Loss of 5. Brian Crooks urging his defense on to pitch that shutout that Mr. Pavlovich called on the ride down here. Brian's going, there's an old guy up in the booth that said, you guys weren't going to give anything up. Hey, we've got 5 minutes to go to prove he was right today.
And I think you were both right coming up. You both had good prognostications on the drive up.
They come again. Orr gets ready. Throws it across the middle, incomplete. That brings up a 4th down as Orr just gets leveled when he lets go of the football. Orr is taking a beating back there at quarterback. 4th down and 15.
And no, he was just number 25.
Okay.
See, I told you one of you was right.
He played on that team in 2013 that lost the state championship.
4th down for Southwestern. Right across midfield at the 47. Hornets coming up on the corner. They back off. They come up. They back off. And we get a delay of game against Southwestern. Southwestern 1 timeout left. The Hornets 1 timeout left. So we're going to move back 5 more yards. We go back across the 50 to the 49.
And Mark Ryan, he also played with his teammate Matt Norman, one of the offensive tackles for that 2014 team. Brian Norman, listening here. Always happy to see your text and your tweets, Brian. Hope you're doing well. Hope Matt is doing well.
Matt, an alumni of Hawaii.
Top 3 uniforms in college football.
Okay. 4th down, 22. Here they come. Looking to throw it. Incomplete pass, and you could hear the feet coming, Corey. And when you're a receiver, you know you're going to get leveled. You've got to pull in the football. And Southwestern can't do it. With 5 minutes to go, well, the Hornets look like this one should be a victory on their side of the field tonight, leading 31-0 here at DeVore Stadium with 5 minutes to go on SportsNetUSA.net. That'll put them 2-0 in conference, along with Golden West College, which will be the last game of the season, or the regular season, for the Hornets and Golden West. It could be whoever wins, Nick Mitchell, Garrett Campbell, whoever comes away a victor in that game.
Don't skip games, Mark. Don't skip games.
No, I said if they keep going the way they're going. Over Matt Blackney's head, ball comes out, ball is up, ball gets kicked, ball goes down, ball is down, and they take it all the way down to the 20. So Matt Blackney comes back in at quarterback.
And now, here's where I'm saying, Mark, don't jump on it. If I'm Southwestern, I'm just kicking the ball toward the goal line.
I was going to say, I'm going to roll it towards the end zone.
And make sure we picked it up, because there was no Hornet by them, by any of the Jaguars.
And I felt sorry for Matt Blackney, Corey, because one of the defensive linemen knocked him down and then literally squatted on top of him. I thought the official might come over and tell him to do it. Matt's going over with Juan Cuevas. And, I mean, it wasn't a little guy. It was one of their guys who were like 280 that just literally gave him the old cannonball. So let's hope Matt's not hurt. Edmond comes back in. Edmond gets hit. Ball in the middle of the field, incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 from the 20.
Lively arm from the left-hander.
So Jimmy Inman attempted 57 passes, 27 completed, throws 47%, had 274 yards coming in this game. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His longest pass completion, 36 yards so far for Southwestern. Freshman quarterback. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Hornets come straight up the middle. Throw it out in the flat. Looking to get a block at the 10. Cut back. Down to the 8. Should be enough. It'll be 1st and goal at the 8-yard line for Southwestern.
Jaguars got away with a hold on Devin Barnes on the outside to free him up to get in the 1st and goal situation from the 8. Or a 7. 7.5. Can I get a 6, Mark?
You can get a 6. Sean Bryan back in there. The runner option. Straight in the middle. Edmund says, I've got it. Bryan says, no, I got it, because one of us is going to score a touchdown. Well, you take it. No. And the Hornets said, we'll decide that for you. We'll tackle both of you for a loss on the play.
Looks like that old song from Freestyle Fellowship back in the day, Hot Potato.
Loss of 4 on the play. 2nd and goal now from the 12. Defense doesn't want to be anybody that gives up any points in this game. Big 2nd down. Throw in the middle of the field, overshoots. And Corey, this was a guy that was lining it up till all of a sudden he saw Keon Marshall bearing down on him and said, I got to let go of the football.
No, he's got to make that throw.
But he saw Marshall.
Yeah, but he's got to make that throw. I think he's had 2 throws here that you just saw, overthrew both his receivers. That's one you have to have.
3rd and goal from the 12. Jimmy Inman now looking for something, wants to get a little closer, may pull it down himself. They're coming again, straight up the middle. Jimmy gets tackled by 1, 2, 3, 4. 7th sack of tonight's game by this defense.
Marshall was there. Sloboda was there. Who else was there? Santillan. Brandon Sun.
And Brian Crooks is changing out 6 defensive players on 4th and goal from the 26.
Line changes. He wants a defensive touchdown.
Inman, 4th and goal from the 25. Here they come. Gets a hold right up the middle. Gets a hold. Ball gets knocked out of his hand. And they call it a pass, not a fumble, because if that was a fumble, defense scores that touchdown you just call. And, Corey, this is where you once wish you had instant replay to see if the arm was actually moving forward, because if it's not, it's a fumble.
I think it was moving forward. I don't think you get that type of roll if it's not moving forward. Dimitri Hernandez knocked it away.
What a defensive stand by Brian Crook's defense. Corey realized they fumbled the ball away. Southwestern is down there.
It was 1st and goal at the 8.
Yeah.
Ends up at the 28. I'm sorry, 28, 23. 24 and a half. 23 and a half?
Matt,
72-yard line.
72. Matt Blackney comes back in the game. Now in at running back. Udengwu. Straight up the middle. Goes down quickly. So the Hornets with a 31-0 lead and a 2-minute time on the scoreboard are going to be 2-0 in conference. As they get ready and start looking towards San Diego Mesa next week at San Diego Mesa. Matt walks underneath center. Watches the clock. It's at 14. He's going to let it bleed out till it gets down to about 5. Straight dive play up the middle again. Down after a gain of 2. We're under 2 minutes here in the 4th quarter at DeVore Stadium, as Southwestern is going to lose to Golden West College and then followed by losing to Fullerton College the following week.
Ventura 23, Bakersfield 17 final. East LA goes down to Long Beach 24-6. Riverside beats Mount Sac 28-25.
Matt walks up under center, looks at the play clock. It's at 7. It's at 6. Gets under at 5. Takes his time. Straight dive up the middle again to the 30. We're at 1:14 here on sportsnetusa.net.
9 minutes to play. San Bernardino Valley 31, San Diego Mesa 21.
2 minutes to play?
9 minutes to play.
9 minutes to play. 59 seconds to go. Matt Blackney's going to stand out there. And I think what you're going to do is you're going to get from Fullerton, let it go down till about 1. Then we're going to call timeout because we've got 1 timeout left. When it hits 3, they should be whistling for a timeout. We're at 4, 3, 2. Timeout should be called, and timeout is called. The Hornets bring the offense over. So with 34 seconds to go, the Hornets go 2-0 in conference here on sportsnetusa.net. Want to thank all of you for dealing with us all night long here on sportsnetusa.net. And don't forget, next week, 6 o'clock, San Diego Mesa. And while you're sitting around this week, well, on Wednesday night on 90.1 KBPK, Fullerton College takes on Cypress College in a little women's basketball at 6 o'clock on 90.1 KBPK. I said volleyball. So it'll be first and 10 as Corey tapped me in the back. I didn't see what happened. What happened, Ryan?
So what happens is there's a high snap. As he goes back to field it, he's able to bring it down, gets ready to punt it away, realizes he's got 3 guys in front of him, tucks it, gets away from 2 tackles, gets over down to the sideline, but only gets himself up to the 11-yard line.
And there's a flag on the play. Personal foul against Southwestern with 13 seconds to go. I'm just getting ready to watch the play, and somebody taps me in the back and starts talking to me. I turn around, there's Corey Neyland. And I took a look back on the field, and I'm going, where'd the punt go? So let's start the clock. We start the clock. They're going to let the clock wind out down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as your Fullerton College Hornets come away with their second conference victory tonight at DeVore Stadium. It's the Hornets 31, the Jaguars 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. For Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborne, Mark Pavlovich, we'll see you next week at San Diego Mesa as now the Hornets walk away and get a little bit closer to Conference Championship Day here on SportsNetUSA.net.